Welcome to FurCast episode number 388. I am your host, Nico, the Otta.
I'm your host, Paradox, the Red Wolf.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How about you?
I'm okay.
It's 2020. Can you believe it's been 10 years in 2020?
I know. I can't believe RBG died like 6 months ago.
I was going to say, it kind of feels like January was a very long time ago.
Pretty much.
Like, remembering things that happened in January and February, it's just like, oh.
We still have 3 more months of this year.
Remember those wildfires?
We have
That was
still
like
have
January.
3 more years of 2020.
3 more years of 2020s left.
Yeah, that's a lot.
This month went by fast for me, though.
September?
Yeah.
Actually, I will admit that this month has gone a little faster just because I've been working so
Yeah,
much.
same.
But, you and I have been kind of swamped. But
I mean, the fires help escalate things. So, it burns faster. Your life goes faster.
Yes.
I think everyone's just become numb. Oh, by the way, I'm your host, Pharaoh, the Blue Fox.
oh, wow. Way to introduce yourself like a week later.
I know.
It's been so long.
It's like a week in 2020 time.
I know. Anyway, welcome to FurCast episode 388.
88.
Yeah, we really don't have much to talk about. There's really not much going on except
You have to over-enunciate the T's.
Yeah.
88.
We do have a roundup that we'll go through in just a moment.
Back in my day, furries had these things called conventions, or so-called cons, was what they would like to call them.
Oh, cons. Yeah, that used to be a thing.
They don't exist anymore.
But that was in the before times. BC.
Well, I
before
mean,
Corona.
so
How do you think cons are going to come back? Because
they
I
won't.
feel
It's going to be a while.
No. I didn't say when. I meant I feel like the way it's going to work, just judging by people in social media, what's going to happen is late 2021 or 2022, there's going to be some con that's like, all right, guys, we're going to do this. And then some people are going to go, and then everybody else is just going to criticize the people who go on social media for being either unsafe.
But
or,
everyone just wants to go. I've got a feeling that the next con is going to be limited numbers, and you have to pre-reg beforehand.
You know what? I just don't care anymore.
Well,
You
stopped
I don't mean
caring
to
2 months ago.
I care, but at the same time, my parents are in Florida, and they've been having the time of their lives. They've been still going out.
I went to Florida right
They're
before all
both
this.
high risk, and I feel like
Yeah, it's just
I've been doing nothing. And
I literally went to Florida 2 weeks before all of this happened, and it was the most amazing vacation. It was so nice.
Like I said, this year, the only happiness I think I've had this year was in January when I I flew down to Twin Tails and started pouring. And I was like, that was a whole 10 years ago.
Oh, February was that was a nice vacation. It was 80 degrees, and then I was locked inside my house for 8 years.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded not to see most of the people I lived with for those 8 years.
Speaking of Twin Tails, we are sponsored by them, and Faye was supposed to. Well, several times now you've kind of had a plan to go help them, but every single time it's let's see what happens to COVID rates in our area, and let's see how the airport is doing, and then every time in a month when you reconsider, you're no, it's worse.
Well, that's why I'm probably just going to go down. Because
I'm sure you would be okay with risking yourself, but you're also risking all of us.
Well, you can quarantine actually no.
You can quarantine after whatever that move or the move that's coming up.
I'm not.
all
Yeah,
of you.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna live in this house in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So
in that time, you will have my old bedroom where we can just lock the door and you're you stay here.
that doesn't really work that way, but okay.
Yeah,
At the very least, he'll stay 6
Governor
feet apart.
Cuomo's brothers proved that doesn't work.
Okay, cool. We'll just put you in a hotel.
Blue
You
Fox
can live
Hotel.
outside.
You guys go to school. You guys are going to get it well before me.
You know how many people I see at my school? 0.
Kasuri goes to school. Bluegrass goes to school. You go to school.
I see 0.
I do. I admittedly, yeah, I am exposed to.
And
a lot
you
of
go
this.
to go to school.
Yeah.
All for different reasons, but everyone here goes to school.
Yeah, I try to isolate myself in server rooms as much as possible, but that only goes at the end of the day. Yeah, I'm surprised. Either we've all had COVID already.
I don't know. Maybe.
Which even
Are
then
you going to risk your life for a con?
Which
I probably won't.
even then, you could technically still sort of get it again. So it's I don't know, man. I feel like we're fucked.
You know what I would be laughing at?
What?
If the second you're about to move, you get COVID and it's not bad, but bad enough that you can't really move. Like, you're not going to die, but, like, you can't move. And you're, like, having to move, like, all these heavy boxes. And you're like...
That's why I'm thinking.
You know what I look at it as?
What?
We have like 50 years left to live. Let's just have
That's
fun. If it gets
optimistic.
cut short, why live in fear at this point now? Because
Well, as long as you aren't hurting other
everyone
people.
else has just abandoned everyone
Oh, yeah.
else.
See, the problem
Me
with
saying for you to risk your own life, that's fine. You can go overhead and risk your own life. You're just risking everyone else's.
Yeah, that's the issue, is that you're harming other people. So it's like, as long as...
And those other people include me, so that's what I'm also like...
You're like risking me by going into work or just going into school.
I go to school 2 days a week, and there's nobody there.
Guess what? I'm unemployed right now, so I am the safest person in this house. I'm the highest at-risk person in this
yet-
house right
wow,
now.
what a good idea, Faye. Let's all just quit our jobs. I think, you know what? Faye makes a good point.
Oh, I
can't
would have loved to just quit my job. That'd been a highlight of my life. Being able to quit a job, not, lose a job.
Yeah.
Well, I say nothing. I said everything I needed to say when we were downstairs. I was as savage as I could be.
You're always savage.
You attacked me first.
Savage as fuck.
You attacked my life first.
It should be Nico's badge name if a con ever happens again. Just savage as fuck.
You were mean to me.
Pure savage.
Or
And
just
I-
a badge that just says, I'm mean.
And I escalated it. If you don't know this about me, if you escalate things with me,
I enjoy
escalate
escalating
back.
things with you.
And I attack things that are mean
I love
because
it.
you can't defend against.
He goes for your weak spots, like the Achilles heel that you don't tell anyone about or like that. He's like, I know what harms you. I'm gonna go for your heels. I'm gonna cut them.
Isn't that like what otters do?
Yes, it does. Yes, they do.
Yeah, see, it's fitting.
We have sharp teeth, but we can't really maul things. You kind of just like nip, but you have to nip in the right spot and then they're dead.
Savage otters.
Anyway,
Utterly savage.
And I did that downstairs and I got my point across.
I like utterly savage
it is.
instead of utterly savage.
And I said it with
This
a
is why
smile.
this is why we need like a FurCast store, because like the stupid shit that we've said. Like I just want now an utterly savage shirt.
I just want to like a little odd going. There's like a little sharp teeth and it's going. Only
This is why we need to like hire a graphic artist.
like imagine people wearing T-shirts with mean things we've said to each other on them.
I would be so.
That'd be the
I don't-
highlight of my life.
I would have no words. Like I wouldn't even notice it at first.
I still want to do the testimonial thing where like our website just has quotes of all the bad things people have said about our show.
I would be so confused if we see like a T-shirt, like something that we did. I wouldn't notice it right away. I would notice it eventually, and then be like, "What's that?" Like when I went to the mall, like I think it was like a year or two ago, and like an actual year or two ago, not like COVID year or two ago.
Hot topic.
Yeah, you got to specify now.
No, it wasn't Hot Topic. I was like at a mall and I was like walking and I saw someone wearing a shirt and I was like, and then it took me like around the corner. I'm like, that was a Bad Dragon shirt. And I was like, and then he was gone already. I'm like, fuck, who was that? And why are they wearing a Bad Dragon shirt in public?
I'd wear a Bad Dragon shirt in public.
I know you would.
Because anyone who comments on it obviously
Knows.
knows. So
Yeah.
it's a catch-22 right there.
I know. It would have outed me.
I think
but
there was a tweet or someone had a Bad Dragon mug on their table.
Yeah.
And it was like, do I say something? I can't.
Yeah.
Touche.
Because then I admit that I'm a degenerate.
I'm a degenerate.
So then what you do is you just get your own like mug with
and
that.
then you just
And then, oh, we have the same mug. Oh, cool. And then you just keep walking. Like, there's just nothing. And then that person would be sitting there at their desk, like, mind blown.
all I can think of is like that. What's it called? It was like, who's the famous actor? I can't think of it. It's off the top of my head.
There's a lot of
Not-
famous actors.
Yes, not Danny DeVito, but shit. He does the Cheers thing. He was in Titanic. Lost all the
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes, thank you. For some reason, I couldn't remember his name. Or he's doing the Cheers thing. All I can think of is that with like a Bad Dragon mug.
Wow.
It's like Cheers, that smirky smile.
All right. Welcome to the Roundup. The Roundup is the segment where I throw a bunch of links at you that you can check out on your own after the show when we post the episode. It usually takes a few days. This is our rapid fire news segment, and we're going to jump right in with downdetector.com. And the reason we're on downdetector.com is because, I'm going to refresh here. If we scroll down, hey, look at Telegram. Oh, what's this? OWO. A lot of people have been having issues with Telegram tonight.
Huh.
Telegram then posted, or Durov and his channel, I suppose.
Telegram.
Posted.
Telegram.
Last night's Telegram was down. I think when he says last night, he means because it's past midnight in Europe right now. In UTC. Yeah, it's just past midnight. Last night, Telegram was down for about an hour in Europe due to hardware malfunctioning. Some iOS users tried to access Telegram during this time may have been logged out, and will have to relog in. We've already fixed the iOS app, and an update is on the way to the App Store. And then Telegram uses a unique, custom-built multi-data center infrastructure spread across the globe. You mean like every cloud service ever? This approach allows us to make things very efficient in terms of speed and security and cost, but can pose some challenges in times of rapid growth. Each week, at least 10 million new users sign up for Telegram, and we are constantly scaling both of our software and our hardware. So there you go. Meanwhile, next in the roundup, Telegram had an update this week. They now have anonymous admins, channel comments, and more. So the anonymous admins thing is interesting. It's basically like the person who posts in a group can just have like a anonymous thing. So you know it's an administrator, but you don't know which administrator it is.
We should use that.
We have actually.
I was going to say, like, we should do that.
Yeah, it's neat.
Because then no one can yell at a specific person.
Yeah. And then we also have channel comments, which is interesting. So previously, channels, you weren't like, they weren't groups. They were essentially just announcement channels and stuff. We actually have a couple channels. We have XBN Announcement Group, I think it's XBN. Yeah, it's just XBN Announcements is one of our channels. I also have XBN Studio Build.
See, we should be admins in our chat, and then everyone else that we hire on as admins should just be like hidden. That way there's no problems.
I don't know if that's necessarily what the issue is. I think it's more like...
Well, you can say hidden. You could be a hidden admin.
Oh, no, I would be hidden. But I think everyone who should talk to you in the FurCast chat should all be hidden.
Well, I think you could do it dynamically so that, like, if you're dealing with an incident, you could switch it on. And then that way, you're not pinning one particular admin on, like, trying to, let's say, talk a user down to, calm them down or whatever. Because that's kind of the issue, right? It's like...
I'm making looks.
But anyway, yeah. Channel comments, and then there were a couple of other things. Keyboard animations and more emoji. Does anybody use the animated emoji? I always turn them off.
I turned them off.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so that's the new Telegram update. It's got the cute doggo and the header image thing. Next, it is apparently Fat Bear Week, according to the
Wish.
Explore.org.
I heard some music.
What music is it? This?
My National Park Reserve.
Wait.
It's his mic.
I know. I want to hear what music it is.
I'll have to turn off his noise gate.
Telling a lie. I'll tell you that.
Anyway, so yeah, apparently it's Fat Bear Week, and Explore.org is actually tracking which bears
Are fat?
are, I guess. I don't really know. Competition this year's crown.
What do you think going to be? What's going to be this month's edition?
Yeah, they're literally going to tally up and try to find the fattest bear in the Katmai National Park, I guess. Anyway, so that's interesting. That's on that's on nps.gov, so you can find that.
I was going to say, what do you think of this going to be this month's series?
I don't know.
Like we've had September was like fires. Like, what do you think is going to be this month?
Besides
just future casting right now.
Besides our politics, I don't know.
What do you think? What's going to be the flavor of this month?
Torrential, like rain, maybe.
The Cheeto lives.
It's like earthquake. I'm thinking earthquake. I'm megaquake. I think a megaquake would be this month.
Yeah, or a volcano.
No, megaquake first and then a volcano. So I think November election.
I mean, keep in mind, volcanoes can also trigger earthquake.
They can do each other.
Yeah, they can do each other because they're all tectonic.
They can do each other.
Yeah. Anyway,
who fucked first, the earthquake or the volcano?
So a YouTube channel called Great Big Story. We've shouted them out multiple times before. They are being shut down.
Shut down or
This
stopping?
is Great Big Story.
A place to meet the most fascinating people on Earth.
Now, I'm not going to play too much of the video because the last time I played a bunch of a Great Story video, they sent us a copyright strike. So we're going to go ahead and not play their video, even though they're being shut down. Although they're owned by a very large media conglomerate. You might have heard of them. They're called CNN. So even though they're being shut down, I'm still, whatever. But yeah, they had 5.37 million subscribers. And I guess they're just being shut down. And here's an article from New York Post that says CNN shuts down streaming news network. Great Big Story.
They're facing hard times because of the virus. You got to cut some costs somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Seems like, that's probably the biggest, so you got to cut it,
Launched originally in 2015, short-form video network was built as a way for CNN to reach a younger generation, complete with digital rivals such as Vice and BuzzFeed. They succeeded. It was a very successful YouTube channel. They had some great stuff on there.
And now they're banning the youth.
Yeah. Next, of course, I'm sure everybody saw this, needs no introduction, but the Weird Al, of course, did his usual kind of debate cover music video.
I didn't even see this,
They
actually.
pumped out very quickly.
We're all doomed! People are breathing out this living poison and trying to float into my orifices. I lost my car keys. I had to steal my neighbor's Segway to get here today. And on the way, I crashed in this dumpster. And these kids are making a video, and now I'm on TikTok. I can't. Excuse me. Yeah. Being not hysterical, despite, things.
But he goes into a great song, and it's very well done, of course, as you'd expect. Let's see. I think
Where's the guac, ground beef, and sour cream?
The American people have a right to say who's the Supreme Court nominee. Their biggest inducer.
but I'm trying to get to the chorus. Let's see if I can find it.
Now here's the deal.
Oh, here it is.
All over the place.
Who's it gonna be?
They want to take out the cows. The cows.
In the West Wing.
Now here's the deal. He has no idea what he's talking about.
We're living in the apocalypse. I'm begging you to put a stop to this, pretty please.
Keep yapping, man. The people understand.
So typical Weird Al,
love
very
Weird Al.
very well done.
I still love Weird
I
Al.
would have watched that when we're on break.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's great. So anyway, next in the roundup, this is put in by Maruski. He's away in Toronto right now, so he'll probably be off the show for a couple of weeks. But
He fled the country.
yeah, no, he went back to visit his.
Yeah, he fled the country.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not wrong.
he did technically flee the country, but now he has to quarantine for 2 weeks, so that's why he's not going to be on for a little bit.
So he has to
but
quarantine 2 weeks there? Does he have to quarantine 2 weeks coming back, too?
no, he does not. According to New York State, he does not. Because
Canada's
I'm sure
safe.
he will, but
Canada's
not
the
as,
safe land.
not as extreme.
But anyway, Maruski put this in the roundup. It's called FerAl or FER.al. Feral, obviously. But it looks like this very interesting, uniquely styled game with really, really cool art style to it.
We can always wait another day to live our dreams. That's fine with me.
I don't actually know what you do, but it looks
You
amazing.
form a pack.
You wanna look back, say I should've, could've, would've. I don't think so.
No, cool. You can fight shit.
I'll show you how we could.
But it looks like a neat game. So yeah,
Well,
it's,
that's like an RPG, but you're a feral animal.
yeah.
So like the dance animation that it had. She could go back to it. So a little cute little dance animation after it fired its little attack.
Yeah. It definitely seems like it's got a neat style to it. But it's also on Twitter. Play Feral is what it's called on Twitter, and their website is fer.al. So yeah.
What's
there's
their
that.
website look like?
We were just on it.
Oh.
That was the website. Yeah. This is the website. We're specifically /en. I don't know if you need that. Let's see if we get rid of it. Yeah, still works. I don't know why it was. Oh, it forwards you to /en for English, I would assume. Next, Grindr has not been doing well. You guys know the social dating app, similar to a lot of other ones out there. There's also, let's see, what other apps are there similar to Grindr? There's also Jacked, Hornet, VGL, OkCupid, and then obviously there's Furry Amino is kind of for a younger audience, but there's also the Grokio communities and Howler, obviously, and all those. But Grindr in particular, not doing very well. There's an article here from Independent on how Egypt police are using it to track down, find, and imprison LGBT plus people, which we've kind of known that this has been going on for a while, that some governments that are not okay with LGBT people have decided to kind of take advantage of those apps that have your location. Now, luckily on certain platforms, particularly iOS, I know, you can actually go in and tell the operating system to not give the app your precise location. So, for instance, when, let's say, a weather app goes to get your location, the OS will just say, I'm in this general city, or I'm in this general, region, but it won't won't reveal your exact address. Now, of course, if you're also revealing your face or your name or anything else on Grindr, then that could also be a concern. Cut to next article in the roundup from Troy Hunt, hacking Grindr using just literally copy and paste. Apparently, there are some really bad vulnerabilities, and Troy Hunt found out that, get this, the password reset token would work for other people's accounts. As in, you could literally just get into any person's Grindr account.
Does it still work for other people's accounts?
I would assume they've fixed this now. I'm not sure. Here's an article from The Verge.
Account?
A shameful security flaw could have let anyone access your Grindr account.
Could have. So, I mean, maybe it's not.
Well, we don't know. But yeah, that's pretty fucked. So, careful what information you give Grindr or use it or do anything. And it's really a shame, too, because I've met a lot of awesome local furries through Grindr. That's how we know the Bull. That's how we know a lot of other local furs. That's part of how we know each other is through Grindr. So it's just a shame because it's it is a useful platform for, certain things. But yeah, it's just too bad. And then finally, last item in the roundup. Faye wanted to shout this out. It was a video called We Live in the Dumbest Timeline.
Hi there, hello, welcome. Good to have you here with us.
Hello. Hi, what is this aliens?
It's not aliens, no, you're the latest guest on The Dumbest Timelines. Everybody's favorite show where we have versions of us from dumb alternate timelines and our players try to guess what kind of dumb stuff is going on within them.
Okay, yeah, this may as well happen.
Today is a special treat. Our guest is actually from the dumbest timeline there is.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's where I'm from?
That is you, yeah. Tell us, how does it feel to learn that your timeline is the dumbest of them all?
I mean, to be honest, I think a lot of us kind of pieced that together.
Well, you heard it, folks. Some surprising self-awareness from Dum Dum over here. Oh.
Okay. Wow. So that's from Ryan George's YouTube channel. If anybody wants to check that out.
Because we were talking about remember Back to the Future, where they go Marty goes back in time and then fucks shit up, and then you have
Biff as
president. I was like, we're in that timeline. We're in the dumb timeline. That the main protagonists are trying to escape.
Biff as a president, so
we do have Biff as president.
Yeah, it's
we're the ones that are living in this stuck in this timeline, while other people are trying to escape this timeline.
I feel we are in the fucked one. I feel like
the fucked one.
There are some main characters right now who are trying to get out of this timeline. They're trying to find the time machine or whatever, and we're just the side characters in that movie that have to live in suffering.
Hillary won in a different timeline, and the world's got flying cars and shit, and Biff won ours.
I feel like it was even before that, honestly.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brexit isn't happening. Because of course that would get voted down. Who would vote for Brexit?
I just love our, the dumbest timeline. It's so great,
We stuck.
Oh, Riley clarifies. So the Grindr thing, what it did, it returned the email token to you in the response to the post request. The token was specific to your account. It was just sent to the person requesting the reset instead of to the owner's email. Okay. So it wasn't that the token worked for anybody. It was just that the wrong person, it was possible to get the token, essentially. But, yeah. And one person in chat says, I haven't used Grindr in a while. It was so spammy and full of ads. Yeah, so what I do, and whenever I'm using Grindr, if I get an ad, I just close the app and then relaunch it. And I'm able to do that. Granted, I have a pretty recent smartphone, but I'm able to relaunch the app and re-log in faster than it would have taken me to wait for the ad.
Yep, I do that all the time.
So I'm just like, close, reopen. Oh, look at that. It's like, because they're so bad. Some of those
bad.
ads. Yeah, yeah.
It just keeps going.
And then, what was it? Grokio is where Furzu went. So Furzu was the community that kind of, it was like, it's sort of like Amino, the furry Amino, where Amino is a general platform that you can make for other furries. Furry Amino is generally for a younger furry audience, but Grokio has Furzu, and there actually are some a decent amount of local furs I've noticed on Grokio. And then meanwhile, this wasn't in the roundup, but Grokio also introduced a pup community called Pup Space, which a bunch of people are joining, which is cool because besides there was the Recon or whatever it was, which was the BDSM grinder. And then
why do they call it Pup Space? They could have called it the Kennels.
Yeah, or Kennel. Yeah. But there was the BDSM social media website.
FetLife?
FetLife, that was it. So there was FetLife, and then there was also Recon, I think, was the grinder, but finding people in your local area, but it was BDSM, I thought. I don't know, because I don't have them. But
you're vanilla as fuck.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Him?
I've seen more pictures of you doing odd things, like what you did at home.
I mean, you used
GC.
to be vanilla as fuck.
I'll
say that.
I wouldn't say it's that spicy.
It depends on what you consider vanilla too, because it's what you're into versus what you do versus how you live.
Yeah.
They're all different.
Yeah. I would say you're a nice vanilla with some cinnamon. It's a little bit of spice.
A vanilla with cinnamon.
I'm actually into a lot of stuff that I just don't do because I live here.
That's fair.
If I'm honest.
I know you would be naked a lot more.
Oh yeah. God, yes. I would be a nudist if I lived with other nudists, but I don't, so.
I just don't like thinking about where everyone's sitting.
But yeah,
that's it. That's literally that's my biggest
the
thing.
only problem with
seeing
nudists.
floppy dicks, go for it. But knowing that I'm sitting where you're sitting is
So would rope seating be better? Like a mesh seating?
No, because then you would see the butt underneath it. And it would just be pressing through.
I love your concerns.
It would look like a ham, with the rope.
I think you're talking about a glass seat, not a.
No, it's
a glass seat would be the worst because then you would just see the butt print after.
And it'd be warm like a toilet seat. So a glass seat would not work. That's why
it would be so easy to clean though. The glass seat, you're just done.
Yeah.
I would clean all of my seats if I lived with a household of.
That's what I was saying. A fabric seat.
Or we each
ham.
have our own assigned seats in a place.
Assigned seating.
And then you have to clean it yourself.
Wow. You can also just have a towel. Or wear
have your own towel. That's also
you get those old timey plastic things that people put on couches, the old people, where they didn't want to get their couches dusty.
Well, it's what Schraub would do is he would wear a robe, but he just never bothered to
I remember that.
And then he would always sit on the
That would be fine.
Yeah, that's what you can do.
I just don't want your butt where my butt is.
But I feel like we all are kinky, just in very different ways.
Yeah.
We experience it differently.
Yeah.
I know Faye's actually kinky as fuck, but we just never, You're into all kinds of bondage and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I'm the kinkiest person in this household.
Well,
I think you're the kinkiest person who has the least sex.
I'm the least sexual, most kinky person.
Yeah. That's pretty common though. I know I have a lot of friends that are really kinky but not actually into sex, whereas I'm the least kinky but I just fuck a lot. It's I don't know. It's interesting how that works.
Art.
Well, there's that too. Because here's the other thing. I have pretty vanilla real life sex, but then I'm into weird furry shit.
That is true. You are into a lot weirder furry things,
Yeah.
like imaginary things, which is
That's
fine.
That's why vanilla as fuck comment was commenting child as real life.
I would say what you would
He's
be.
like vanilla with a spice.
No, like the chocolate itself would be vanilla with like a hint of like cinnamon, but inside there is like a weird like nougaty inside that's like really really interesting.
You are like, what? How do you?
For him, no.
So-
For him, no.
No, because I know some of your kinks like for more like deep down. So the deep down they'll be like that interesting flavor, but on the outside it just looks vanilla, but it's okay. Because we all are vanilla.
I just remember
sometimes.
from past years the foxes he used to date, and he was like, "Nah, I can't like tie them up or anything. That's too much for me."
Okay. We can't all be you. I don't know what you would be.
I'm just talking about the foxes that he used to know.
I don't know what you'd be, Faye. You'd be like
I'm just me.
You'd be like chocolate with like weird shit in it.
I'd be like a Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
No. I would say like you're chocolate with like
I hate chocolate.
I know you do, but
You
it's
hate
fine.
chocolate, really?
Yes, I don't like chocolate.
But you would be like with
That's interesting.
So I wouldn't be chocolate.
it would
So
be
you-
like craisins or something inside of it that you'd be like
That's
"Ew."
disgusting.
But if you have it, it might taste good.
No,
It's just it's a
that's-
very unique.
That is an
taste.
awful representation of me.
Well, you don't get a choice in this matter.
Yes, because I know you're trying to be awful at this point. Yeah, what would you be then?
That'd be gross.
I'd just be
I
gross.
feel like you'd be.
He's melted
I
ice
feel
cream.
like you'd be like cream filled, and it'd be very good consistency. But I'm just not sure if that would be the flavor
It would
that I
be
like.
too rich.
Yeah, it would be like too rich.
like a cheesecake.
Like you would have a little bit, and then that's too much.
He goes to cheesecake.
It's like a Boston cream donut that just keeps going.
I can't keep people from allowing for very very long. So it's like I'm like a little too rich. Like it's like a lot. It's super intense, and it's gone.
Pharaoh's not even ice cream. He's a chill pop.
I feel like you'd be like a Boston cream donut that just. Keeps,
I'm an Italian ice, okay?
You're
No, you're like you're closer towards like
Dippin' Dots.
yeah, yeah. No, that one I would agree with. Like it would be super cool to like super cool idea, and everyone wants it. But then once you get it, it's like, oh.
I can eat Dippin' Dots every day.
But they're so like, oh. Like literally, the first time I had Dippin' Dots, I was like so excited as a kid, and then I got old enough to buy it.
You could just put Dippin' Dots anywhere, and I'll be excited to go there. That could literally lure me to places. You have Dippin' Dots? All right, I'm on my way.
It's basic.
They're okay.
It's a cool idea, and it's from the '90s. That is you.
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't have Dippin' Dots, they're basically.
I don't. How? No, there's no way.
Yeah.
No, can't be someone that hasn't had Dippin'
We
Dots.
have people from other countries.
We have
okay?
people from other side of the
We
world.
also have like.
I'm sure
people
there's
who are a
Dippin'
lot
Dots in
younger.
Australia.
Okay, well, first of all, stop yelling. Second of all,
Never that.
basically they're like a concession stand at a fair type of thing, and they use liquid nitrogen to essentially like super freeze ice cream so that they come out into these little. It like condenses into these little dots of ice cream.
They're
and then,
gross.
And then as soon as you put
They're
them in your
not
mouth,
gross.
they melt essentially. It's basically ice cream. But yeah, a bunch of people are now saying they haven't had Dippin' Dots.
Well, they're not people.
They're little ice cream spheres essentially.
Just pull up a picture of it real quick so that people understand that don't understand this.
All right, I'll pull up a picture. Let's see.
There are many different flavors of Dippin' Dots.
And they all kind of taste me.
No, there is no way you can say
Well,
me.
I've had Dippin' Dots before.
Okay,
and
to
they
be
taste
clear,
okay.
if you like or don't like them, it's probably just because you don't like the particular ice cream flavor that they use, not necessarily because of the process of making Dippin' Dots.
Okay, they're not worth like the $6 for a little
You're
cup.
upset about the price of what they cost.
Of course.
That's the only. You're not upset at the flavor. You're upset at the price and the size.
The price to what you get. That's like $5. That much what you're getting.
Yeah, that's like $5, and it's
And
like
it is
a couple-
worth every penny
No,
of
it's
it.
not.
I will.
That's the difference between you and me. You will spend so much money for stupid
I will buy
shit.
so many Dippin' Dots. I don't even care. I would swim in goddamn Dippin' Dots.
For stupid shit.
It's not. It is delicious shit.
No, it's stupid shit.
No, you're stupid shit.
It tastes like okay ice cream. Guess what?
Because you're comparing it to the price. You're comparing
For
taste to
$5,
price.
I can go to the store and buy a whole tub of ice cream.
Okay, but to be fair, when we were in Cedar Point and it was like fucking like 35 Celsius.
We didn't get Dippin' Dots. We got the Fraps.
No, we got both. I got Dippin' Dots a ton.
I didn't get Dippin' Dots.
Oh, they like saved my ass. I mean, they were
didn't.
expensive, but
Rainbow is like sherbets. It's called unicorn.
I must have been
rainbows.
with somebody else then at that point because I didn't get any Dippin' Dots. I got the fraps with you.
If
and
this show could be sponsored by Dippin' Dots, I would fucking do it. I would sell out this show to Dippin' Dots, hands down, no questions asked.
Some people are saying they actually don't like the texture. That's interesting.
See, you are correct, people. It is overly expensive normal ice cream in a cool shape. So it's cool once.
No, it's cool every time.
Okay, yes, because it's ice cream, so it's
Exactly.
Cool.
It's
not
always
fun,
cold.
but it's not always like something fun to do.
We could sell Dippin' Dots. Can we make a FurCast Dippin' Dots?
Dippin' Dots are a great thing that I would compare them to, and they're nothing like this, right? But like, it's almost like the funnel cakes you get, where it's like it's a great idea and concept, and then you have it at a fair, and you're like, huh, and then you're done, and then you're just like, I don't need this anymore.
But
and
the difference between funnel cake and Dippin' Dots, in my opinion, are this has price.
I would eat Dippin' Dots a lot more.
I would also, if I had the choice, if you were like, you got to eat one of these.
you could probably make them if you like.
I don't know. I'm sure he'll figure it
Like
out.
you can get liquid nitrogen, and you could probably.
He's got the free time. He can make it out. Yeah, no, a little savage. It's okay.
Good.
It's
That
just a touch.
They also have frozen yogurt Dippin' Dots.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be.
They're called Yodots.
Yodots. Huh.
Anyway, because the fried dough stuff and like the funnel cakes and stuff, they hurt your stomach so much.
Yeah.
Like, they're good once, and then you're like,
Well, it's just like most fair food. Most fair food is like that. It's like it's okay.
I like kettle corn.
You spend kettle. Yeah, okay.
Kettle corn is like the one fair food that it will not make you that sick, unless you're going to a really shitty kettle corn place.
Yeah.
And that one, like the price for like $10, you can get like a bag like
Oh my God.
3 feet long.
Do you remember the festival in Toronto where you got birch beer?
It was root beer.
It was root beer.
It was actual root beer.
Oh, it was like.
God damn it! I keep forgetting this week. Oh, maybe they're open. No, they're not open Sunday. We keep forgetting to go to the goddamn mead place.
You have literally nothing to do except go to there with your wife.
No, because it's open 3 hours a day, 3 days a week. So it's like
And you are not doing anything for those
Set
3
an
hours.
alarm.
You are the only one in this studio who does nothing scheduled. You
do a
can
lot.
no
I'm the
no,
maintenance man.
Key point is what I said. Scheduled.
scheduled nothing.
You have nothing scheduled. We have places to be at certain times. You don't. You can be like, oh, I have
I'm
to
a
clean the
free
garage.
spirit.
But you could do that whenever you like.
All right, shall we
Anyway.
jump into news, or do you guys want to call it?
Oh, we were going to talk about the root beer.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
So we went
I'll
to.
pull up the photo, by the way.
Oh God, I'm so disappointed. I forgot about that photo too.
Yeah.
We went to. I forgot. It was like the fair in Toronto. I forgot what it was called.
It was just some festival,
It
carnival.
was a fair in Toronto, and there was I was like really really friggin' hot, and I was extremely thirsty, and I saw like these root beer places like everywhere, and I'm like, okay, well, how can you fuck up root beer? And then I went to it, and I got like the big one. I'm like, oh, we can get like a refillable one, but like me and Paradox went like halvesies on it, and then I'm like, oh, I'll get like the refills, and like Then I took one sip. It literally just tasted like high fructose corn syrup, and that's it. Like mixed with water.
It was pretty bad.
There's like no bubbles. And like I gave it to like some people who are like actually from Toronto. They're like, yeah, that's root beer. I'm like, no.
I did like the birch beer from MFF
I did not have the root
back
beer.
when we had the con there.
I didn't remember that one.
Because you can get like a mug and then you can get it refilled. So you can have a huge, giant like chalice of root beer, like birch beer, and I think there's like a few other ones.
Birch beer I do like a lot. Like people are like, oh, birch beer. It tastes like
It was worth to get the mug because you had a nice, cool like tin metal mug. I didn't get the mug, but
it tastes like spearmint is what if you'd never had birch beer. But this was so disappointing. I took like 3 sips and I was so grumpy. We have a picture. It's coming eventually.
sarsaparilla.
Yeah, I'm looking for it here. Oh, found it.
Here we go. Look how disappointing it is.
You were so like.
It was so sad.
I want that in a cutout.
Also, I look so weird without facial hair now. It's so sad. Like that was after the first sip, and then I was still sad. And Peric's like, "Oh, that was like a priceless. You got to make the same face." And I'm like, "Okay," and I did, and I'm like, "Oh, it's still just."
I'm looking for my other favorite picture of you is this one. This is the best photo I've ever taken of you.
I want that in a cutout so we can put it out this winter.
That was him.
It was so cold.
Yeah.
And the worst part was it was freaking cold. We wanted to make cookies, so we were going to the store to buy cookie material. And it was so windy that like all the snow was just in my face, and I was like, eh! And I was like trying to scream your car so we can leave.
That was great. I'll never forget that.
The Bandit says the Hofbrauhaus in Buffalo just opened up now.
Is that like, can you get like takeout or something?
I don't know. That's where the one you can go get the beer and get spanked.
Oh.
We can get spanked here.
Yeah, we can get spanked in Buffalo now.
We can just spank you downstairs. We don't need to go to a bar to do
Here, you
that.
want to get the shit beaten out of you? Come here.
I don't like being spanked at
Yeah,
all.
I like
I feel like in fursuit it might be fun.
light to medium.
in first
spanking
year I
is
think it'd be
fine,
fun, but
like I need to be drunk for that.
that's why you drink. You had to order a huge thing of beer to get.
When you hurt me, then I get really, really, really salty.
All right, so do we want to do news for just a short bit, and then we'll call it maybe?
I don't think we're going strong.
All right, well.
Or we can do a break now and then come back for news. And if it's a short little segment, then it's a short little segment.
We can do that.
Because I do want a drink of some sort.
FurCast is sponsored by TwinTailCreations.com. You can check them out at
Whoa.
TwinTailCreations.com. They make awesome, reasonably priced, high quality toys.
Awesome, reasonable dildos.
Oh, they're reasonable.
Thank you, sponsors, for calling your
thanks,
dildos reasonable.
They're reasonable. No,
They're-
really.
They will seduce.
They are high quality, durable, and carefully made for reasonable prices. Is the line
I have
supposed to
used
say.
them. They are nice.
They come in all kinds of pretty colors and custom patterns, including an optional FurCast coloration. If for whatever reason you want that, you're weird. They ship discreetly. Return labels just say TTC LLC. Same thing on the credit card. It just says TTC LLC. They do ship internationally. By the way, the customs paperwork when they ship internationally just says silicone sculptures. They're also part of our community. They're in our chat room, so if you have any questions, you can ask them. They're degenerates just like you and me. And literally, they are like, they're fans of the show. That's why I remember when Twin Tails reached out to us and they're like, yeah, can we sponsor you guys? And we're like, okay, cool, but why though? And they were like, oh, you guys are great. And we're like, no, we're not. And Twin Tails was like, yeah, you guys are great. And we're like, oh, thanks, I guess. And then they're like, yeah. And then we started doing the sponsor thing. And then people started using our coupon codes. By the way, we have coupon codes, Red Wolf and Blue Fox.
You know, Dippin' Dots is in Kentucky.
We'll save you up to 20% on silicone products. That's like the headquarters of Dippin' Dots?
Yeah.
Oh. Huh.
That's like the strangest place. I was not expecting Dippin' Dots LLC to be Putica, Kentucky.
And at some point, because Twin Tails has been getting inundated with orders lately, Faye might actually be going to help them out. So there's a chance that your Twin Tails toy might be getting made by Pharaoh.
Made by Faye.
There's a little Faye in those toys.
There's a little, yeah. And as we
Don't
say,
you want to shove a little bit of Faye up your butt?
love is poured into every mold unless it's made by Faye, in which case hate is poured into every mold. I don't know. What
Spite?
is
It's for
Spite.
What do
hate
you-
fucking.
hate fucking- What do you pour into your molds? It's not love.
That's just I don't know
That's
why.
not love.
That is not what I want to think about. Is what do you pour in your molds?
It's not sin.
It's not that it's
It's
not a
not-
sentence that I
that's
wanted
true.
to say.
I don't
lo-
know.
I love how Twin Tails has an employee named Sin.
Do you pour in your molds? Carelessness, forgetfulness.
Like all negative things.
It's like in the
All your misery.
like the Powerpuff
You like
Girls thing.
cry, you like "Ugh," and you like teardrop into the mold. That would probably ruin it.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. That he accidentally.
I'm still expecting like you to be making a toy and there's like one drop of
Chemical
like
X.
a tear or something that goes inside of it and it just like taints it. Like it's like in there and it just goes like and it's like gonna like kill the world.
Like teardrops of me kill the world. I don't know. You said 2020 can't get any worse.
I said that
And then Ruth
one
died.
time.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
That's all it takes. You never knocked on wood. You're just like, you know what? 2020 can't get any worse.
And you take it all out of context.
Yes, because this is what you said.
So here's the thing, like
It was like 4 months ago. Here's the.
honestly, I think what you need to do is you need to reverse it. You need to, and you can't do it now, but later, you just need to randomly just stop whatever you're doing. Let's say you're washing dishes. You just need to stop, turn to everyone else, and just go, you know, there's no way 2020 can get any better. And that'll fix
And then
it.
immediately,
the
Cheeto will go stale.
Yeah, the Cheeto goes stale. Stale.
The orange creamsicle will melt. And the world will be a happier place.
Brexit is canceled. Coronavirus just goes away. Virus.
And then I go, yeah, there we go. It's all better now. And then I will get everything.
Yep. That's what you need to do.
I will lose my job. I will.
There's no way 2020 can get any better.
We can buy some Dippin' Dots online now because all parks are closed.
Nobody cares about.
But guess what? The bulk bag for 30 servings is only $60.
Yeah, but they're Dippin' Dots. You can just get, ice cream.
I kind of want to go get ice cream.
I want to get
I'd be
Dippin'
fine.
Dots.
I was actually thinking about maybe going to Denny's after for ice cream.
I'll totally be up for that with you guys.
Because I wanted
I don't like Denny's ice cream like that.
It's actually really good. Really?
Cool, that's fine.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
That's interesting. I thought it was.
And
really
yes,
good.
I'm saying cool as a pun. Because it's ice cream. No, that's not a pun.
I'm canceling your pun.
Anyway,
with my cow.
You never come with us anyway, so what's the difference?
Yeah, because I spend enough time with you.
Wow.
Well, because you're not spending any time at your job.
Wow. What? Oh, I felt that from over here.
There's only so much I can take of Nico. Basically,
I can come back at you. My kids when I was trying to teach once,
I'm
one of
gonna
my
make
kids.
sure I order peanut butter Dippin' Dots.
I forgot what I did. I was a summer camp counselor, and one kid said something, and I was super savage right back. And it was the quickest little jab, and all his friends were like, "Oh!" And I'm like, I didn't do that. I was just like,
wow.
I can make really good quick jabs.
You guys are listening to FurCast live on XBN.
You're listening to FurCast.
Support for FurCast comes from Patreon users, including Shaman the Photon Wizard, Dexy Wexy, Phaon, Energize the Wolf, Sweetie Darling, Barnaby Fox, Strike the Circle, Frost Blaze, Anu Fox, Omega Zai, Mullock the Generic Brown Wolf, Cypher the Heckmutt, X the Fox, Binary Pause, Zavarkin, Firelion Coyote, Trinity Werefox, Lord Headcheese, Biohazard, Code Yax, Fox 777, Fiasco, Red Eye the Rhodey Red Lion, Tukiri, Lieutenant Fox, Calypso Collie the Fluffy Trucker, Mellow Wolf, Rit the Otter, Doxy, Zoopy the Barcode Kitty, Arceus the Tiny Tiger, Horse Code Hooves Up, Donut, Alta Shep, Meru Snowmew, D Otter, Ski Sharp, Nick Liz, Nerd Hoof, Zenair the Mutt, Nether Lynx, Frost Wogon, Jeb M16, Static the Scrap Goat, Taru the Yellow-Nosed Doggo, Cronass, Jax the Husky, Fuzzy the Fox, No Name Horse, and Gaia-Wellen.
Additional support comes from social media. Twitter users, Commander Wolf 3, Kazuro Fox, Drop Table Foxes, Perp, House Tier, Anti-Blue Fox, Onyx Fox 23, BBQ Skunk, Rivik Wolf, John Crescent, Kaz the Dreg, Wolvern 4, Nate Blueberry 13, Belle Platagon, Jared Tamana, Cyrus SL, Crossy on Twitter at XSSFox, the other Commander Wolf on Twitter at ForWolf99, Reiner on Twitter at What's the Fuzz, Zelig on Twitter at Stealthy Dragon, Trashcat Danny on Twitter at Trash Danny, 12 on Twitter at The Lion Thing, Shua on Twitter at Pulsing Panther, Dakota Winter on Twitter at DakotaWolf12, Telegram user, Sorcerer Dale, YouTube channel, Joe G. Bear, and the following websites: macrowolf.com, hurryhoo.com, hack13.me, Superdwarf with anthrolinks.net, and Devin D. Partlet with furryhockeyleague.com.
Additional support for FurCast comes from Shisha Sheppy, Who's a Good Boy? For head bases and 3D printed goods, commission Tar Paw Studios at Alice Tar on Telegram. Silver Moonshine, maker of fluffy tails. Fisk Games, the new furry YouTuber on the block. At AlecGator300 on Twitter, creating pixel arts and being a filthy hybrid since 2012. Tantru with World in Rue View, providing fandom news since 2015. Honorius, who says, one more cheese joke and someone's getting bored. Spurigs, one of the only Ethiopian wolf degenerates in all of furry land. Scar the Fur on YouTube, giving you bite-sized, detailed furry history. Kilo the Proto-Yote, who says Jessie is the best kitty. Cody Big Cat with Cody's custom auto and truck accessories. Come see us today at 625 East 1st Street in Vidalia, Georgia, for all your auto accessory needs. Light and Shadow, the wolves, keep furry possum. Patty, who says, what Socks says is true. Socks, who says, what Patty says is not true. Okay, listen, I was on about this like a year ago. It's time, all right? You two need to come together and start trusting each other. Our relationship should not be strained like this. For years we've been watching this play out, okay? All right, stop. You two need to talk, all right? And whatever relationship issues you guys have going on, well, we can do it right here. We can do the counseling right here, all right? I'm willing to help because I'm tired of seeing two friends fight it out like this and just not trust each other and have a grudge. This is just not okay. A message from @Grundy the Goat. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy. Don't ever play with guns. Donran, munching those pizzas and writing those tunes. For an invite to the unofficial FurCast Minecraft server, message @Sashahina on Telegram. KobeCats.com. Take a bite out of art. We know you're hungry, so come get your paws and maws on a delicious piece of burger priced art. Raiko's Furry Fortune Telling on Telegram @Obsidian Fox. Saucy Fox, who says, I'm trash. Raccoons, HMU. Checkers the Dragon. Chess is my safe word. Fishmeister Cod, still not a furry since February 2011. Nightly @Snouts.online, who says, I want to see this community grow beyond meets and conventions. Permanent furry commune. When? Max Shepard, who has been watching since the Bacon Felony. Neonwuff, who says, Oreo is a very good boy. Little_sunshine and Scootaloo with the unofficial XBN Xbox app at patreon.com/horseapps. FurCast's #1 wimpy fan, Tyler the Wesky. Shacky, the Maid Lord of Nordic FuzzCon. Visit the Maid Cafe at Nordic FuzzCon in Sweden. Chris Tale on FA, specializing in Toonie art. The Church of Iswar, worshipping Lynx since the year Tuft. Rose Iron Husky, smell those sweet, sweet welds. Skycorp, creating transformative technologies for mature audiences at skycorp.global. Check out the SoCal Shepherd Show, wherever you get your podcasts. Disc Cookie, creating procedural beat maps for VR rhythm games. Kuranos, who says, circles are quite friendly and nice actually. Tekwin, TC Fox, and Kaiwana of the Infosec Den in Wellington, New Zealand. @Equinox on Twitter, who says, remember kids, neigh loudly, squeak often. Sylvan Scott, Grey Muzzle, Sorta Rider, and Tabletop Gamer. On Fur Affinity as Sylvan, with size-related stories and other speculative fiction. Shadowclaw Studios. Check out our Facebook page for links to our gaming streams. The Feline Support Alliance. A good kitty is a bitey kitty. Shacket Airlines. We always land on our feet. Silver Gatomon at patreon.com/silvergatomon. Cheetah Paws for a daily dose of bulgy arts. Support him at patreon.com/cheetahpaws.
And a very special thanks to Blaze Fusky and Decibel Fox. Support for FurCast comes through Patreon, PayPal, cash donations, and from listeners like you. To become a patron and learn more about supporting FurCast, visit furcast.fm/support.
This is XBN.
Is this how you want me? Tell me how you want me. Is this how you want me? Tell me how you want me. Is
guys. We're listening to FurCast Live on XBN. We got one or two more tracks before we come back from break. Hope everybody's doing okay. Staying cozy and warm, especially with all the weather changes coming up. Up next is the acoustic version of Tokyo Diamond Eyes.
1, 2, 3, 4. Waking up. Am I good enough? Thinking to myself, let it go. Every city on the rise, Tokyo Diamond Eyes, orchestrated city lights. Let it go. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, watch out below. No holding us back. We are rock about to roll. La 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 la. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, watch out below. Enough is enough. Yeah, taking it as we go. La 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 la. Stepping up. I feel good enough. Thinking to myself, let it go. Every breath harder now, 'cause I'm lifting off the ground. Happy 'cause I'm moving now. Let it go. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, watch out below. No holding us back. We are rock about to roll. La 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 la. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, watch out below. Enough is enough. Yeah, taking it as we go. La 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 la. Hey, walk with emotion. Hey, you hold your head high. Hey, walk with emotion. Hey, you hold your head high. Hey, walk with emotion. Hey, you hold your head high. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, watch out below. No holding us back. We are rock about to roll. La 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 la. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, watch out below. Enough is enough, yeah. Taking it as we go. La 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 la. Yeah, we take it as we go. Take it as we go. Enough is enough, yeah. La 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 la.
What's up? We got one more. And it's nice and groovy. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, guys, with more FurCast.
Come on, baby, let's go. On a Sunday
What's up, guys? That was Groovin' by Carl Carlton, and I did get that from a vinyl, by the way, so you can hear all the record scratches and everything at the end there. Anyway, so we come back from our music break with actually some dire news. We just found out, maybe this was news earlier today, and I missed it. I don't know. Apparently, Cineworld, which is the company, the huge conglomerate that owns Regal and Cineworld in both the US and the UK, is closing forever. So Regal Theaters, gone. And apparently they cite James Bond being delayed as one of the major reasons, because they were kind of banking on that to succeed. And yeah.
When's the last day, apparently?
Next week.
None of ours are open.
Yeah, but none of ours are open.
The dominoes are falling.
We can't go see like a final movie. Oh, I have so many points for Regal too. Fuck.
I was on the Regal Rewards
I
program.
had like a free movie. Oh.
So that's why I don't try to get too obsessed, because for the longest time, I was like, wow, Subway card points are great, because if I ever lose my job, I can like go, get a sub at Subway or whatever and not worry about it, and I'll be able to like get so many subs with like the thousands of points that I have or whatever. And then of course, out of seemingly nowhere, a year later, somebody's like, oh yeah, by the way, points are going to expire now. And it's like,
Yeah, all my 7-Eleven points, I had so many of them, were gone.
yeah, it's like, don't stack money in points, rewards points, guys. It's not worth it.
Well, it's like, it's worth it if you keep going back, but it's not worth it if you just keep it.
I mean, if it's for less than a year, right? Like,
why does my 7-Eleven need to use Bluetooth? Why?
That is pretty sketch.
I said no.
It could be the Bluetooth beacons that they put in the store or something, but I would say no.
I said no. I don't.
I mean,
I have 981 points for 7-Eleven.
If you're gonna like rack up, like let's say airline points on a credit card and then use it for a flight at the end of the year, like that's fine. But I just see people who just rack up like effectively what is thousands of dollars worth of points and not use them, and it's like don't do that.
If I get 1,000 points, I can get a banana. One banana.
For 1,000 points?
That's a lot of points for a banana.
Wow.
Or one hot slice of pizza. Oh boy. I know at one point I had the max amount of points. Yep, I had 5,000 points, a lot, because my old roommate person would go and get Red Bulls all the time, and that would be worth a lot of points, and then they would get a free Red Bull every so often.
Oh. Yeah, like I do the Tim Hortons points, but that's because every like 6 or 7 visits or something, you get like a completely free thing.
Well, now it's different. It's they have points, and you can buy things with them.
Yeah. Well, no, my point is just don't leave points sitting around, because, Matrix must be one good banana.
It better be one damn good banana.
See, I think we have one AMC theater around here.
We don't have that many.
I think there's just one, if I remember. It was the theater where we saw Zootopia, actually.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there?
No.
I think we saw Deadpool as well.
I wasn't there with you either.
I almost had to walk out of the theater during Deadpool.
I was surprised that you went to go see Deadpool. That is not your movie.
I was just with them. I mean, good movie, but I almost had to leave. I just couldn't handle it.
It's not your movie.
It's not my type of movie.
You don't like violence. Gore.
No. Neither. No. Don't have an issue with either of those two things. What do you think I had an issue with?
Nico, you answer this one.
I don't know. You've known him longer.
Psychological and physical torture is what I have an issue with.
The torture scene, yeah.
Yeah, the torture scenes are what I couldn't do.
But they played nice music over it. It was all happy. Couldn't you tell?
I guess.
Anyway. No, I was making a joke. They did play nice music, but that's because it was like...
Yeah. By the way, no downside to like the incredible production of that movie, though. Like, very well done, and the writing is incredible, obviously.
It was.
I never liked Saw. Deadpool's torture scene wasn't bad. I could never do Saw though. I didn't like Saw.
Never saw it.
I could do Saw. Saw doesn't make me all jumpy.
Doesn't make me jumpy. I just like Saw is
I know
definitely
It
all
Follows
torture.
gets you.
It Follows does get me. That's the one horror movie that just it definitely I don't like it. Have you watched It Follows about the sexually transmitted demon?
I told him about it.
So like scary looking things or jump scares like don't bother me as much as it is like great example I'm not as sensitive to this as Maruski is, and I know Maruski's not here, but I'll just speak for him because I know he would say this. You guys know in Interstellar how there's the time dilation thing, and they go to the one. It's not really a spoiler. It's in the middle of the movie. And also, if you haven't seen Interstellar, tough shit.
It skipped, 30 seconds?
Yeah. Basically, there's a time dilation where a bunch of the crew go down to a planet to take a look at it, and then they come back, and it turns out the one guy who was on the ship waited like 20 years for them to get back. That is like really, really horrifying. Like the idea of being like trapped and bored, like imprisoned basically, mentally. It's like his fear, and I was like, I understand that. That's pretty freaky. I'm not as freaked out by that, but like I get it.
I would have so many hobbies. I think I would sleep for like a month. Well, actually, no. If anything, if this quarantine would have taught me, is that I would have slept for about a month. I slept for about a month, and then I played a lot of games.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. But Faye.
Yeah, I don't do horror movies either.
What would you do if the creature from It Follows actually started following you? Like, you didn't know, but this like one person just kept on like walking towards you forever.
I mean, that doesn't bother me. A single person following me. I don't know. It's just.
And then when they got to you, they would kill you. How about that?
A person following me does not scare me.
Well, whatever the freaking thing was, that was the it. Because it always looked like a person.
I'm just going to let you guys have this conversation.
That wasn't the scary part of it, though.
What was the scary part for you?
I can't explain what the scary part is. Like, I don't know. It was just something. It wasn't scary. It was just, it bothered me.
The whole sex thing?
No. Just
no, that's like the two things from It Follows is like, you never know when it's gonna follow you, and you never know like if it's gonna kill you or not.
Like, the death doesn't scare me. It following is it's I don't know. It's one of the things that it just bothers. It doesn't scare me. It just bothers me. And it's the best way I can explain it. It's like, I don't like that. Like, why do you not like something? Like, why do you not like what the dysphoria? What people like don't like all the holes that are like together.
Yeah.
And you stare at something, you're like, I don't like that. It's the same thing with what It Follows. Like, that
Yeah,
same
but there's
concept.
like a reason why. Because like the people with the whole thing, it's like you picture like that on your skin or something.
That's not most people's reason. There's all different reasons for it, like why. It's just that psychological trigger that just, I don't know, it bothers you.
I don't know. I've only seen like a few scenes from horror movies that actually, they don't scare me, but they get me like, ooh.
So I've never had the ooh thing.
The only one that's coming to my mind right now is like, have you ever seen Mama? Terrible movie. Kind of terrible movie. It's okay. The ending was shit. But it's about like these two girls that were like living in the woods, and they were getting raised from this like demon mama person, hence the name Mama. And then the girls get found and they get adopted by this family, but the demon woman thing still follows them. And one daughter like actually like turns back into normal because she was older, so she gets reacclimated, and the younger daughter doesn't because she's like 4. And there's one scene where it's split. And on one side you see the adopted mother like folding and doing laundry, and then in the other scene you see the little girl playing with like a blanket, and it starts like just like floating and like hovering, and then the girl starts getting like tossed around the room from the blanket, and it cuts back because like the adopted mother comes into the room, and then it's just the little girl sitting there with the blanket in an empty room, and then you see that the closet door just closes.
Okay.
Like, yeah. That part is like, it's just enough that it like is like ooh, but it's not like I'm actually scared. And of course they went to the jump scare, and like the adopted mom like opened up the closet and it was like the music all dramatic, and there was nothing in it. But
like the only legit horror thing that I can find that ever scared me was when I was like literally 6 years old, and my parents made me watch The Blob, the original one.
Bluegrass wants to watch that.
Like, it doesn't bother me now, but I remember just being 6 years old, being forced to watch The Blob. I didn't want to. And then my parents were like, no, you gotta stay for the whole movie. And the one guy gets he's like washing dishes, and he just gets ripped down the drain. The Blob just starts like ripping him down, like straight. He gets pushed.
This is our Halloween talk, apparently.
Pushed into like a 2-inch pipe.
You guys gotta do news.
And like, I was so scared from that as a child that I couldn't go. Like, I was afraid to go on the toilet because there's water in the toilet, and I was like, once something comes out of the water and tries to suck me down ass first.
Well, maybe someone just really wants to suck your ass. Okay.
I don't want to be ripped down a 2-inch pipe as my like bones shatter.
You want to get rimmed to death?
I don't want to be rimmed to death either. If you watch The Blob, that's not what happens to anyone.
Well,
that's not their
maybe
death.
in the porn.
Blob the porn, Blob XXX.
I'm sure it'd be called the like bloob.
The bloob.
And it has like just boobs.
I don't like that either. Yeah, I'm ready for news now.
See, I can make horror movies not horrible.
I don't think you do that good of a job of that, but
hey, I shot down the conversation enough because I can tell that someone doesn't want to keep talking about horror movies.
I'm just bored. It's my main.
It's Halloween. It's October month. This should be the horror month.
I would sympathize, but or empathize, I should say, because whenever you talk about tech, I feel the same.
This is my month. This is my birthday month. This is my birthday month, and this is the only holiday I love out of the year. So stop bickering. This is my holiday.
How old are you gonna be?
25.
And how many years have you been 25?
I think one time before.
I was saying like in a row, because like technically it would be what?
I've never been 25 in a row.
Technically, you've been 25 for what, like 7 years now?
You're as young as you feel.
Yeah, 7 years.
I don't know. Put it together. October 12, 1988. There you go.
That wasn't 25 years ago.
It's 25 for me.
Counting is...
Foxes can't count.
You're trying. Maybe that's how come you can't have a job. that one wasn't trying to be a low blow, but it kind of sounded like it was just like, oh, well, you can't count.
Actually, math and science are my most popular subjects and the most
popular. You're a popular in science.
You tell me about chemical compounds, ionizations.
I hated chemistry.
Oh, I love chemistry. And chemistry is all about math, too, because you're doing calculations based off of what is being transferred between...
I just never cared for chemistry. I was a music kid.
Yeah, you definitely are a music kid. Go back to your instruments. Band camp.
I did do band camp.
I know.
I played the tuba. I had the
One time at band camp.
We literally had no free time, so I mean, we didn't have any time.
We didn't have any free time. That's what happened at band camp.
It was marching band. It was on a blacktop in like 90-degree weather, and you kind of just...
My
excitement for band camp story was I got stung by a bee, and I was actually excited because I'm like,
you do have a lot of hot air in you, so I mean, tuba actually was probably the perfect instrument for you. Just get you to gas out. Like that's a lot of air that needs to be blown out of a giant, tube.
At least I have an artistic creation outlet that I can do. So
this is true. Yeah, when you have a lot of hot air, it's easy to blow off some steam.
You usually have a lot more hot air than me, so you can enjoy that.
Well, someone has to heat this house.
I believe your wife does.
No, I believe that's called the furnace. It's called
I know,
the gas
but I'm just saying because I think she's the one who pays the bills.
We all pay the bills. We all live for now in 2020.
Yeah, until November.
Also, I'm not saying to be mean, but who keeps opening up the windows in our bathroom?
Not me.
Because it's like... It's actually not that bad in the afternoon. I keep trying to close it. Like
I love how you just always bring up house shit.
It's the only time I talk to you.
I have agreements. Who keeps opening the window in our bathroom?
No, because I always forget too. So like whenever we talk, I always forget.
God.
Because the only time I actually notice where I get pissed off is in the morning, and I never actually remember it because in the morning I'm like delirious.
See, I thought it was you because I always close it. I close it a lot of times.
I tried closing it. I'm terrible.
I've tried. It's a pain in the ass. The one time I actually
fix your windows.
I actually pulled a muscle the one time.
Get taller.
You're like, you're not that much taller than us, so you can.
I was gonna say you're pretty short.
I know.
We're all short. Spoiler: if you ever meet us, we're all really short.
We're basically hobbits.
I've had a couple.
Faye, how tall are you?
I don't know, but I'm in suit. I look shorter, so
that's true. You do. He looks like an angry dwarf in suit. Like he looks taller out of suit, but in suit he's like, "Arr!" And he like legitimately. Actually,
I don't understand how I look shorter.
Usually, you look taller in suit, but you look shorter. But I know for Paradox and I, we're both really
I'm
short.
5'6", and we're about the
I'm
same height.
5'5".
I'm 5'7".
We're all really fucking short.
Which, by the way, is 167 centimeters. So we're all around that.
We're fucking short.
Yeah.
I think it was Maruski. Yeah, Brightpaw says it. Yeah, he opened up the window. Yeah, but it's now cold. Like in the winter, in like the summertime, yeah, I'm like perfectly fine with being open because like nice breeze. But it's now because fall's so weird. It's only cold like at night, and by the time it's morning, it's like ice in that room. And I'm the one who has to wake up first, and I'm like, I legitimately have to turn the water on, just like heat the room a little bit.
Yep.
I'm laughing in the chat because Brightpaw goes, Nico may be artistic and play an instrument, but Pharaoh can use power tools. So, :3. I cannot play any instrument at all. Anything. I can't even play the recorder.
I can learn how to use power tools on like the internet pretty fast.
This is true.
So, you know.
He could learn how to use power tools faster than I could learn how to play an instrument.
How many instruments do you play?
How many instruments do you
See, now I'm being mean because my sass is going towards the chat room. That's not a good idea.
How many instruments do you play? You know, sass them back.
Piano, sing, tuba, trumpet, violin, bass, clarinet, drums. Those are the ones I can name off the top of my head.
Miter saw, jigsaw.
Okay, how many of them are just pressing a button?
Using power tools is not just pressing a button.
Go ahead.
I know. I know, but like some.
How many instruments are just blowing hot air or rubbing at strings?
Oh, actually, a lot of them are rubbing strings. It's like there's instrument families that you could talk about, and like, it depends on how the sound is produced. Because if you're talking about string instruments, it's causing from the string vibrations, which is either going to be either by plucking with your fingers,
there's power tool families too,
through a bow.
You have really soft hands though for playing. Like you don't play any string instruments.
It's been a while.
Your hands are way too soft for that.
I did play violin for like 8 years, so I did. But then I stopped because in college I was more of a singer.
You can tell what instrument someone plays by how soft or hard their hands are.
Thank you.
And he has very soft hands.
I do. I think we've already discussed this.
Yes. Because he was proud about having the softest hands in the house. And I said they haven't seen a day.
I wouldn't try sassing me today. I get back.
I said those soft hands have never seen a day's work in their life.
Jesus Christ, man.
Well, I've actually had a lot more days recently of working than you have. So I mean,
I love our family.
It's just I work, you know. With words.
These calloused hands tell stories here.
Stories of pain.
Suffering. Dedication to tasks that I sometimes do not like.
Also, I don't think I've ever been fired.
I've never been fired.
No.
Yeah.
I've left. I'm watching you, Brightpaw.
I was assuming somebody was ready for news. I assumed Faye. All right, good.
Bothers me that this is open.
Five parrots separated at British Zoo after encouraging each other to curse profusely at guests.
What was that again? Sorry. I zoned out.
5 parrots separated at British Zoo after encouraging each other to curse profusely at guests.
Okay. So I would assume they don't understand the swear words, right? Like,
No. They don't really, but they recognize the behavior afterwards.
Oh, yeah. I guess if they read people's body language and everybody's like,
if people are reacting to them, then they're like,
I don't know.
The power and power bottom comes from their ability to use power tools, says Nirok. Wow.
I forgot, there's another site. Oh, yeah. Because I'm not sure if this is in your article that you had, but I remember seeing this article on another page, and I just had to read the quote from that one, which was, if they teach the others bad language and I end up with 250 swearing birds, I don't know what we'd do, the park's CEO lamented. And I said we discussed this before. All I could think of is how fun it would be to walk through a bird park.
Yeah, it's not in this one that I had.
Yeah. I just saw that.
Yeah.
How fun it would be to walk through an entire cursing bird flock. Fuck! 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 Fuck!
I would die of laughter.
I would rather go to 250 swearing birds per cussing.
I would pay for that.
I would pay money for
Bunch
that.
of birds like shit.
God damn it!
That'd be so
Motherfucker!
By the way, this one
Pretty bird!
By the way, this is a video, but it's not of the swear words. I already watched it. It was just a demo of like a bird saying words, but it's like any other demo you've seen.
Birds can talk.
Yeah.
I've always wanted an African gray. My cousins had one in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
And they are so good at mocking sounds and people's voices, like to a scary level.
Yeah. That's their whole thing.
I think like ravens copying voices are scarier, to be honest.
Yeah, because they have a little like more of a there's a tone difference though with the ravens. They still have a crackliness to it, whereas
and you don't expect it.
Yeah, whereas the African Greys just can get things down to such it's insane. Like, you know your phone ringtone, which is like the subway thing?
Yeah.
Honestly, they could mock that, even the level of it.
Oh, yeah, I know. There's that
to where like you would think that your phone was ringing and you'd go check it and it's like, oh.
There's like some birds in some regions that are like, they're like mimic power tools and stuff. Like really weird sounding things. Or like a telephone ringing, they can,
But they would do like my aunt's telephone, they would mock, and she would go to run and pick up the phone, and no one would be there.
Wow.
And she'd be like, "You son of a bitch."
That's great.
And then the bird then started saying, my cousin kept saying, "You son of a bitch, you son of a bitch, you son of a bitch," every time that he saw the bird.
Yeah.
So after a while, I started to swear. So I'd just be like, it would say like some other random words, and then be like, "Son of a bitch." But
I love the idea of swearing birds.
But he would also do the doorbell, and then my aunt would scream my cousin's name, Michael, and literally matched her same tone.
Wow.
So like all of a sudden you would think my aunt was screaming for the cousin Michael, and he'd come down and it was the bird.
That's great.
But I would still pay a lot of money to go through a 250 swearing birds, all swearing different things. I think the CEO had made the biggest mistake of his life.
I was going to say, like, dude, come see our swearing birds. Hell yeah.
Especially for 2020.
I mean, it would get people in. It really would.
Going through, it's like, fuck Trump.
Like, you just walk in, you're like, you want a cracker? You want a cracker? And the bird just goes, cunt.
That's if it's Australian. An Australian bird.
Oh, it is British.
Oh, then yeah. It's close enough.
A British wildlife sanctuary has been forced to separate 5 parrots who wouldn't stop swearing at visitors.
You're like, oh, look at the bird. The bird's like, hi, piece of shit.
All I can think of is like it goes like darker. The bird's like, kill yourself.
Aw.
And people are like, yeah, we can't have this. It's 2020. We need to take these birds away.
Yeah.
Like they're not swearing. They're just being completely vile. Like, you thought you liked your job? You're worthless.
You will never succeed.
Derogatory birds. All put-me-downs.
Depressed forever. Depressed forever.
Forever alone.
Yeah.
That's what I can think of as be bad. But
Yeah.
swearing birds? Nah.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that.
Yeah, I'm ready for that. Being insulted.
Fuck you, cunt.
Yeah.
Keepers say the birds encourage each other to keep cursing and had to be moved to the main outdoor aviary. Billy, Eric, Tyson, Jade, and Elsie were removed from view this week, the Associated Press reports. They recently joined the Lincolnshire Wildlife Center colony of over 200 African gray parrots in August and were put in quarantine together and quickly overwhelmed the staff with their language. Very naughty. We are quite used to parrots swearing, but never have 5 at the same time.
Shit.
The Sender's chief executive, Steve Nicholas, told AP, most parrots clam up outside, but for some reason, these 5 relished it. According to Nicholas, none of the zoo visitors complained about the parrots, and most of them found them very amusing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hell, I would. When a parrot tells you to fuck off, it amused people very highly, he said. It brought a big smile to a really hard year. Paul, you want a cracker? Fuck off! I would pay to go to...
Yeah, I'd pay to be insulted.
I want 250 swearing birds cursing at me as I walk through a park. That is an experience that I feel like I would relish.
Yeah. And then the birds are like, oh, everybody likes it. We'll just keep doing it.
You have like 2 bird parks. You have the adult park and the kids park. And you can't intermingle the birds.
Yeah. The kids park just talks about
like princess.
TikTok.
TikTok. Still, the keepers thought it would be best to keep them away from children, so not to ruffle any feathers. They were separated and moved to various different areas of the wildlife center, so they're unable to provoke each other or swear at each other. Nicholas told BBC News that the parrots swear to trigger a reaction or a response, so seeing people shocked or laughing only encouraged the birds to curse more. You were right.
Yep.
With the 5, one would swear, another would laugh, and that would carry on. So one bird would say fuck, and the other bird would just start laughing, mimicking a person's laughter, which then it would encourage the other birds to swear, and then the other bird would laugh. So the birds would laugh and swear.
Can I just point out that all of this is because humans are dumb? Can we just get that? Like, the whole reason that swear words are even a thing is because of dumb human culture crap.
Yep.
And these birds just stumbled upon it, basically, and then got separated.
They're great birds. I'm hoping they learn different words within the colonies, Nicholas added, but if they teach each other bad language and I end up with 250 swearing birds, I don't know what we'd do.
Sell fucking tickets.
The swearing parrots are not the wildlife's only famous bird. Last month, a parrot at the zoo named Chico went viral for singing Beyonce's If I Were a Boy. Like, there's a post for that. Oh, here. In that article. You pull up that video? I'm curious now. This is one of their birds. At the very bottom of the page, go a little lower.
That's it. This is that little clip. Wow. Yeah.
I wanted more. I wanted the second verse. I wonder if the other article has any, like... Hold on 1 second. I just want to see if this one has anything else. For the past 25 years, we have always taken in parrots and sometimes had a bit of blue language. I love it. It's called blue language. Fitting.
Very fitting.
It's a little bit of the blue language there. Fuck! Shit! Ass. And we have really got used to that, he told me. Every now and then you get one that swears, and it's always funny. We always find it comical when they swear at you. I just want to see if they had any other videos of it from this actual... Oh, for some reason this is now... Hold on. PC is like... triggering.
What is triggering?
I don't know. It went like everything stopped that I heard the CPU ramp up.
Oh. You want me to read one?
Let's see, wait. I think it took 5 in the same week, and they were all quarantined together. I made a room full of We quarantined them all for a week, and we came back, and it was just a room full of swearing birds.
That's so good.
The room was full of swearing. The more they swear, the more they laugh. Triggers. The Nicholas said the cursing birds sounded like old working white men club scenario, where they all kept swearing at each other and laughing.
All right, I got one. Crows are self-aware and know what they know, just like humans. It's an interesting one. And what now feels like an annual update, crows are even more surprisingly smart than we thought. But do they have true consciousness? New research shows that crows and other corvids, we're talking about birds a lot tonight. I feel like this is like a burb.
This is a burb episode.
This is a burb
It's a
episode.
burbo.
Burbcast. Do they have true consciousness? New research shows that crows and other corvids know what they know and can ponder the content of their own minds. That sounds really depressing, actually, to have that ability. Know what they know and ponder the content of their own minds. Yeah. According to SAT, this is considered the cornerstone of self-awareness and shared by just a handful of animal species besides humans. In new research published in Science, as in Science magazine, German scientists put crows through a series of puzzling tasks. During those tasks, scientists measured neural activity in different kinds of neurons with the goal of tracking how crows were sensing and reasoning through their work. They sought to study the specific kind of thinking called sensory consciousness, and they chose birds in particular as an evolutionary history pivot. The task is simple but involves some high-level brain stuff. After the crow initiated a trial, a brief visual stimulus of variable intensity appeared. After a delay period, a rule cue informed the crow how to respond if it had seen or had not seen the stimulus. A, red cue required response for stimulus detection, yes, whereas blue cue prohibited a response for stimulus detection. Huh. Okay. Sensory consciousness. The ability to have a subjective experience that can be explicitly accessed and thus reported arises from the brain processes that emerge through evolutionary history, the researchers write. Today, the neural correlates of... That's weirdly worded. Today, the neural correlates of consciousness are primarily associated with the workings of primate cerebral cortex as part of the telesympathetic pallium that is laminar in organization. Birds, by contrast, have evolved a different pallium since they diverged from the mammalian lineage 320 million years ago. The birds perform in a way that affirms the sensory consciousness, which scientists could say means the neural correlates of consciousness date back to at least the last time the birds and mammals shared a brain section. So I guess they're trying to figure out, like, based on how they think, where did they split off in the evolutionary chain?
Clever girl.
To reconcile sensory consciousness in birds and mammals, one scenario would postulate that birds and mammals inherited the trait of consciousness from their last common ancestor. If true, this would date the evolution of consciousness back to at least 320 million years, when reptiles and birds, on one hand, and mammals on the other hand, evolved from the last common stem-anomic ancestor. In an analysis of the same issue of Science, as in Science magazine, another researcher, Susanna of Vanderbilt University, makes a critique of the study's hypothesis. The structure being studied, she says, could resemble another structure because of physical properties more than a shared evolution or an indication of extremely early consciousness. The size of the structure matters a great deal too. The level of complexity and the extent to which new meanings and possibilities arise should still scale with the number of units in the system. Another scientist who I can't pronounce her name explains. This would be analogous to the combined achievements of the human species when it's consisted of just a few thousand individuals versus the considerable achievements of 7 billion today. I get what they're saying. Like, the things consciousness does scales depending on number and is sometimes difficult to measure. Cool.
Nice.
Burbs are smart.
Sometimes.
That's what we learned.
They also like swearing.
Birds harass.
I would consider that being a smart part.
Speaking of birds harassing.
Oh dear.
I have this one that has a video associated with it too.
Oh yeah, is it in the doc?
Yep.
I'll find it.
Video of kid being chased by a magpie is 90%
I love that
hilarious,
video.
10% terrifying, and 100% Australian.
I showed it to Toll already. He's like, yep. They're cunts. I felt so bad. And they're actually, like, really scary.
Normal day in Australia.
Because they're strong enough to, like, peck really hard, and it would hurt like a bat.
The guy just goes,
Like, it's not like a bird just, like, casually pecking you. Like, they actually can hurt.
Just normal day in Australia. A video has gone viral of a boy on a scooter being chased and attacked by a bird. In the video, the boy scoots as fast as his little legs will scoot, clearly in distress. The bird continues its sustained attack. The adult filming the events breaks into laughter, even without any context. We're confident you have guessed this is a scene that takes place in Australia.
They're so bad. Like, they're actually, like, bad birds.
I just like, without any context, we're confident you've already guessed that this scene happens in Australia.
Yeah.
Just... Where, let's face it, it's everything from creepy crawlies to jumping tree snakes to trees themselves that are all to cause you harm in Australia. The birds are no different, as you can see here. These ones, as well, are, as we explained, are especially big, to use the Australian term, wankers.
I'm sure Toll will be so happy that you said wankers. It's so... I like his cunts better. Cunts are a much better word.
These ones, as we explained, are especially big, to use the Australian term, wankers. That's not a term that, I don't know. It's not an American
That's
term.
more of a British term.
Yeah, wankers. Like, it just... It doesn't feel right with our accent saying it.
Yeah, because it's wanka instead of wanker.
Wanker.
Yeah.
Wanker.
I like... There's like two insults of his that I like. I like cunt. Cunt's a perfect one. Because it doesn't matter if you're male or female. It's just a cunt. It's just you are. And also Muppet. I love Muppets. And can you figure out why someone is a Muppet? He explained it to me. It was like... Why do you think he likes calling people Muppets?
Because it means you're just like
soft and floppy?
Nope.
No. It means you're manipulatable or you're...
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's a hand up your ass and it's making you do things.
Yeah.
He's such a
My
Muppet.
favorite is Cactus.
Oh, Cactus. Yeah,
Because you're
Cactus.
just a useless prick.
Yep. He said that one too, and I was like,
Yeah.
You're such a cactus.
You're a fucking cactus. I love that.
Shortly before spider season in Australia.
Spider season.
Apparently that's a thing. I didn't realize it's a thing, but as Toll has stated, there's spider... Like, how we have allergy season here, you know? Australians have spider season.
Ugh.
Like nice brown lacrosse.
There's the season where they're on fire.
It's the fire season, spider season.
Snake season. And apparently right before spider season is angry magpie season.
Shortly before spider season in Australia, the frankly uninhabitable country goes through a swooping season. What seasons does Australia have?
Toll, we need to know.
Because now I know there's swooping season, spider season, fire season. What's the last one?
Oh,
Hell?
we need to know. Slightly cold. Because like it was like 60 there, and he was like, I have to put on like 3 sweatshirts, and it's like,
and winter. We have swooping season, spider season, fire season, and winter.
not in that order.
Swooping season, in which magpies are known to swoop down from the skies and attack humans minding their own business below. The magpies, actually a type of passerine known as the butcher birds, which only makes them more terrifying, become active between late August and late November, regularly dive bombing and chasing humans in order to protect where their nests are. Particularly aggressive, you don't really need to be anywhere near their nest for them to attack, and when they do, they tend to go for the head, face, and eyes. In a brutal 2017 season, 3,253 attacks and 518 injuries were reported, including a boy who required eye surgery in one. In 2019, a cyclist died trying to escape an attack by driving off of a cliff. Wow. Is that like bird suicide then? Like, because you yourself like
maybe
killed yourself, but the bird caused it. Is it like assisted suicide with the bird, or that? I don't know. Only in Australia will you commit suicide to escape a bird unwillingly. People have tried several different methods to avoid being singled out by the avian would-be assassins. Although you can see in this video below, no successful technique has ever been found yet. I don't know, what is this? I'm curious if what the special technique is that this person was using, that they're referring to in the video.
According to him, he says, we have spider season, fire season, swooping season, and drop bear season. What's drop bear season?
I don't know what a drop bear is. That one right there. What happens in this video? Oh.
On Star FM.
Oh, she put branches.
Is it a season where things like just drop on you?
Being P10 school. Remote reports, it's not very nice. Sorry.
Oh, she put tried different methods to stop the bird from attacking.
Okay.
God, this must be so nice. That's why Australians are always fit. They're always running.
Oh, I didn't show the video on the stream. I'm sorry. I don't think. But yeah, it's just her. It's just her riding on a bike, trying different methods.
I love the branches.
Yeah. So horrifying.
Is there like another one?
In case you missed. The eyes don't work. Get mom. Okay. Anyway.
The thing that is particularly strange and safely, this is saying from the other side of the world. So this is from saying safely from the other side of the world. Kind of badass about these birds is that the attacks aren't entirely random, as well as focusing largely on men or larger individuals.
Huh.
The birds are especially known to repeatedly attack the same individual over several years. So if you become their enemy, they're enemies for life. So like,
why though?
It remembers your face. It doesn't forgive. It does not forget.
So apparently drop bear season is when the koala bears fall out of the trees and they attack you.
Oh.
Koalas are the most useless animal ever because they sleep 22 hours out of a 24-hour day. That leaves you have enough time to eat, shit, and piss, basically, and then go back to sleep.
Oh, it's the silly season. Holy shit, they have sharp teeth. Assigned the scientific term blah, 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 is a hoax in complementary to Australian folklore, featuring a predatory or carnivorous version of a koala. The imaginary animal is commonly spoken in tall tales to scare tourists, while koalas are typically docile herbivores. Drop bears are considered as unusually large and vicious marsupials that inhabit treetops and attack unsuspecting people or their prey that walk beneath them by dropping down from their heads from above. So it's a tall tale that they say where the koala bears are going to jump out of the trees and eat your brains.
So a Saturday in Australia.
No, it's just...
It's a season.
Oh.
But the fact is, koalas literally are like chlamydia, so they're bad at having sex. They sleep 22 hours a day.
And there actually is drop bear in the Australian Museum page where they're going to talk about drop bears. Holy shit, they have an entire page just...
So is it like our chupacabra / Bigfoot is basically drop bears are Australia's folklore? Native
No, they actually happen.
Well,
No,
it's just the koala bears falling, but they're not actually attacking you. They're just dropping on you. And there is an entire page on the Australian Museum about drop bears.
Okay.
So it is Theraclaudus plummetus is its scientific name.
So like how we see something in the woods, Bigfoot, basically
they know it's a joke.
So they've made it because koalas like
the drop bear legend tells of a large arboreal predatory marsupial related to the koalas that drops on its prey. Identification around the size of a leopard.
Oh,
or
so
a
it
very
doesn't
large
actually
dog.
happen.
No,
Okay.
it's not. It's fake.
No, but koalas fall out of trees because they sleep 22 fucking
with
hours.
coarse orange fur. with dark mottled patterns, as seen in most koalas. So it's just koalas.
I thought drop bears was a legend to scare tourists.
It is. That's what they said.
Yeah, okay.
It's fake. And because it's just like, oh, is it a koala or is it a drop bear? Which one is it?
Because koalas are freaking dumb. I think
feeding and diet, stories of kill sites, and examinations of scat suggest mainly medium to large species of mammal make up a substantial proportion of animals' diets.
Wow.
Danger to humans.
So now we know the 4 seasons of Australia.
Yeah.
All right.
But research... so this is the interesting part, though, because 2020 has made the magpies extremely more aggressive.
Okay.
Researchers show magpies can recognize up to at least 100 different people in their lifetime, and we think the main factor is facial recognition software. The birds run their own facial recognition software.
Oh, it's banned in Australia then.
Yeah.
Or sorry, it's banned in California.
BirdLife expert Sean Dooley told radio station 3AW earlier this year, if you think a magpie has it in for you, you're right. So literally, if you can make enemies with like many different magpies, who will remember you for the rest of your life and their lives.
I feel like you could just feed them.
Maybe, but if you're on their bad side, you can't. They don't forgive.
Well, yeah, but if you're on your bad, you're already fucked up. Then.
Yeah, you're already fucked up.
That's what I'm saying.
But as I think Toll could probably explain, you don't have to do much to be fucked up. They're like wasps of the.
I hear it's like if you get near their nest, and if like you do something to their nest, then that's when they're gonna be like, "You're done fucked."
Yeah, but it doesn't. It's like even this article says you don't have to be anywhere near it. You could just be like, the nest could be like on the other side of like the house behind us. And we're walking into our house, and it's just like, no, fuck you. Experts have already warned and seen that this year is especially brutal, as the birds may have trouble recognizing their usual enemies while everyone is wearing a mask.
Fucked it up.
So literally wearing a mask in Australia is more deadly because you become attacked.
No, I think they're saying it's less.
No, they can't recognize a face, so they attack it. Now that everyone has the same face of a face mask.
Oh my God.
All the birds are recognizing are the face mask, and so when they would usually have an enemy, they're treating everyone with a face mask as that enemy.
I get it, yeah.
The birds don't like the masks.
They're dumb. As some birds are smart, some birds are not.
Yeah.
How many bird stories can we have in one night, by the way?
So everyone has become an enemy wearing a mask, and they attack in this case of mistaken identity. So you could be on their good side, and you wear a mask, and they're like, nope, fuck you. You're that person that wore that mask that one time.
Wow.
A magpie may know you and know that you're okay, but when you're wearing a mask, they may not be able to recognize you and begin to attack. With masks mandatory in many states, this could be a huge problem. Unfortunately, the advice for avoiding the beady-eyed birds is basically to alter your life.
Alter
your life. I want one of these birds.
Tanner's Attack of the Karen Birds.
Magpies seem to have very good memories and attack the same person over subsequent seasons, according to the Magpie Alert. There is literally magpiealert.com.
Wow. It's like a website or something?
Yes. A site for runners, cyclists, etc. to register where attacks have occurred. It also advises your route belongs to them now. If it's attacked you before, it's probably a good idea to use an alternative route next season, else face the consequences.
Wow.
You like to exercise? You're gonna run today. So we have the swearing birds, we have the attacking birds.
Yeah.
I think there's an article about the birds you want to fuck, and their songs are prettier now.
Yeah, it's in there. Oh,
I'm asking Toll how many magpies he's been attacked by.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious. Can we get some insight? Can Toll call in and talk about magpies with us? Can we have Toll? He's the expert on this.
If we want to.
Can we have a live report from Australia? Our correspondent in the field. How busy is he? How busy is our correspondent?
I don't know. Finding out.
I'll start the next article then as we wait for our correspondence.
Right. I'll have you. Yeah, that'll work good.
Live from Australia. Now to the birds that fuck. No, just kidding. Lockdown silence has made Sparrow's songs a lot sexier thanks to a quieter arena.
All right. Hey, what's up? I think we got him on the line. How's it going?
Breaking news. We have our live reporter from Australia. Do you have a breaking news?
How are we?
Wait, you need to put a breaking news theme. Live our correspondent.
Our breaking...
Were
you playing a game?
No.
Or are you just chatting?
Just chatting, yeah.
So we've been talking a lot about birds.
I've been watching the show. I've been listening.
I'm really sorry to hear that you've been listening to the show.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
I shouldn't do that, yeah. I should be doing other things, more important things.
Like that one otter picture.
So this is our live correspondence from Australia?
Yeah, so what's the deal with these burbs?
Magpies. Oh, fucking cunts, that's what they are. They're really territorial. Like, that's the big thing. Like, you could be within, 60 foot of their nest, and they're gonna fucking go you. And yes, they remember your face. And they do remember your face. Like, one of my friends has friendly magpies that will come every day and sit on his porch and wait for him to come out and feed them. And then they'll, hop around on the porch and stuff like that. It's really funny.
They sound adorable.
And what happens if he doesn't feed them?
Nothing. They'll come down and they'll peck on the window and try and get his attention.
It sounds adorable.
Be like, yeah.
Yes, I feel like if one was attacking you, and you could somehow feed it or something, it would at least maybe calm it down.
No, once it wants your face, it wants your face.
It wants to keep your face.
Yeah.
That's what people are forgetting. They just want your face. They're like, that's a pretty face. It's mine now.
And they can fuck you up. They can. I think it's about.
They can fuck you up.
Your skull. They can penetrate your skull up to I think it's 1.5 inches, 2 inches with their beak. So it's enough to pass through skull matter. So it can hit your brain.
That's pretty fun.
I got magpie in my brain.
Yeah. Yeah. They hurt.
Have you been pecked by a magpie?
I have never been attacked. I've watched friends get swooped and laughed and ran.
So if you really just wore a Richard Nixon mask or something every time,
just to try and piss one off, so if Richard Nixon ever visited Australia, he would get attacked by some random magpie at some point. It'd be funny.
You should do that with the Trump mask.
Yeah.
Because then you could have friends wear the Trump mask and walk in different areas, and if you've already pissed off all the magpies in a huge radius, you'd be like, oh, here, wear this mask. It'll protect you.
Wow.
See? I'm a kind friend.
Magpies are assholes. That's all I've got to say.
Okay.
So can you explain the other seasons?
The other seasons.
Yeah, what about the other seasons?
So we're in North America,
clearly.
Because everything's on
clearly
fire.
Fire season. Yeah.
Oh,
That's when gum trees explode.
It's not cold in fire season? It is
I don't know if you know, but eucalyptus trees,
explode?
when it's summer, they heat up and they explode. Because eucalyptus is super flammable.
Of course it would be.
And of course it's in Australia.
Yeah. I love when my trees explode because they're too hot.
Well, there's been times in California when the fires have started because of eucalyptus trees that have been transplanted over there for like eucalyptus oil production and stuff like that.
What, do they just burst into flames because they're like, whatever?
Yeah, it's too hot. So they produce the sap within them, and when it can't expel it, it starts to boil, and then eventually it just explodes and ignites.
So you live with pipe bomb trees.
How does it boil though? Like even if it's a hot like 40-something degree day, like how does it?
It's got to be at least like in degrees. It's got to be at least 50, 52 before it starts to be an issue.
I was gonna say, it's like, does it just boil really early or something?
Well, it's not water, so I mean, it's sap.
I guess maybe the sap
thicker,
yeah, I guess.
It has a lower boiling point.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
we could try boiling gasoline and see what happens there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's your house.
Yeah,
Just make sure we have all of our shit out.
Yeah. Can you wait till I move out?
As long as the house is vented, gasoline isn't going to ignite.
You've been in
unless
our
the
house.
flame
Is there
actually
any
touches it.
ventilation in our house?
I would not recommend
No.
anyone to boil, gasoline. It's not a good challenge. I mean,
Yeah, no. Don't
I know
do
that
it.
might be the next TikTok craze here or there, boiling gasoline, but, I don't think it's going to be as fun as you think it is.
Pipe bomb plants. Anyway, well,
I did have fun with burning hope with gasoline.
That was fun.
I mean,
we still have 2 more seasons.
I remember when you shot a lithium battery with a BB gun.
I was very disappointed.
Yeah.
You guys said it was going to cause fire, and I got really excited. So I shot it with a BB gun because it was already about to explode, and I was like, I'm not putting that in the trash. They're like, oh, just throw it out. And I'm like, no, I'm not literally putting that into a trash bin because that's basically a bomb.
That's like saying, that's like telling you to hit a car battery with a hammer. Like the terminal with a hammer and see what happens.
That's basically what he did.
I mean, but that's like you're actually making contact yourself, whereas a BB is making the contact for me, where I am not physically touching the object. There's a difference there. That's why you shoot a target or something like that. You're not physically hitting the bomb with a hammer.
Yeah, and then you put it in a bucket with water, and then it steamed for a little bit.
Yeah, and it was just the most disappointing thing I've ever dealt.
I mean, it was a bulged battery from Jesse's laptop, and
I remember trying to take that out.
Yeah, it was pretty horrifying.
Yeah, taking it out of the thing was more horrifying than me shooting it.
To be honest, I think the battery had shorted a long time ago and probably wasn't charged.
He took that on a plane still.
He did take it on a plane, which we did make fun of him for, but also it does contain lithium. So I mean, that's still pretty bad.
Shouldn't be allowed to take it on a plane if it has lithium.
Yeah, if it has a small enough amount, you can. I mean, most laptops have lithium batteries.
Yeah.
I'm still more curious about the drop bear season.
What about them?
Why?
They're not real.
I got
they're
that.
Not real. It's a fallacy.
So then what's the real 4th season?
Drop bear season.
It did actually say a drop bear season in all the things. They actually talk about it as a season. Is it just like the Taurus season where you fuck everybody who's
pretty much.
Okay.
And then you just laugh because they're getting scared of koalas?
Yeah, a couple people have sent me the, I would assume it's a viral clip of the, TV news anchor
there's
person
3 of them.
who thought it was real and dressed up for it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That sounds very Australian. Just heh.
Fuck with the guy for that.
It's fun to get a bunch of Muppets and scare them.
Yeah.
Also, I love Muppets as an insult.
Muppets, Cactus. Cactus is one of my favorites. I'll use a lot. But Muppets is my top rank. If you're a Muppet to me, you're pretty fucking stupid.
I liked it was MF. Was it MFF or was it FE? I think it was FE.
Oh, when I got really bad.
When we were at the Tim Hortons, it was definitely FE, and you were you called her that to her face, and she was like, "I have no idea." She was
because she was fucking stupid.
And then it was because I got my stuff and I walked over to TJ, and then TJ said, "Oh, what a fucking Muppet!" And then he's like, "Toll's gonna say the same exact thing as soon as he comes over." And TJ came over and he's like, "What a fucking Muppet!" And I'm like,
"Oh, you guys had the same insult."
Like TJ and Toll both had the same insult with the same lady, and she's like, he's gonna say that. He's gonna call her a Muppet. I swear.
Wow.
It's gonna be the first words out of his mouth, and it was literally the first words out of your mouth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But koalas are basically worthless because isn't eucalyptus like not an aphrodisiac, but it's if you eat eucalyptus you get high, right?
If you have to take a really big dose of it though,
Which they do.
like
all of your life.
Like, yeah, but they're naturally immune to it. They're high the whole time.
So
like,
they sleep 22 hours a day.
wouldn't
The only thing they eat makes them high.
Think about it. If you were cooked 24/7, wouldn't you be sleepy too?
I'm just saying they are the longest sleeping mammal. They sleep 22 hours a day.
No wonder they have chlamydia.
They are awake for 2 hours out of the day, which seems like the most worthless genetic mutation for an animal species to have. That I'm surprised they still live in Australia. They eat eucalyptus, get high all day. So the last of the 2 hours they are awake, they can eat shit, piss, and that's basically it. And possibly on one occasion day, fuck and get chlamydia.
Mm-hmm.
Toll's like,
your national treasure.
Not really. Toll, I miss you.
Miss hanging out with you boys too.
Yeah, I miss you so much.
Yeah.
I miss fucking
I heard
around.
you're moving.
Yeah, well, I'm moving down the road.
Down the road, like just a couple of streets over.
Yeah,
Like,
literally.
really?
Not too far.
Yeah, not too far. Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, actually, two of the places we're looking at are like walking distance.
Cool.
So
Yeah. Does that mean you're gonna leave the studio where it is?
we don't know yet.
The studio, or...
We're probably for now. Yeah, we're not 100% sure. It's kind of everything's a bit up in the air at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you.
I will
get
say though,
back
my
to
biggest
more
disappointment
interesting
was you see when lithium batteries explode and like the fire shoots out of them and everything like that. I was so ready for that, and I was so happy for that. They're like, oh, it's gonna.
I'm so hung up on this lithium battery not
Because I need to go out and buy now a lithium battery just to explode it to get that need that I was hoping for. That everyone was like, oh my god, don't do it. It's gonna be terrible. And then like it was like lighting a firework that like farts. Was the basic disappointment. It's like you think you're gonna launch this big firework or something like that, and then it goes. So I had so much hype, Toll, and that's where it hurt me. I had hype.
Yeah.
It's like when you were coming to America and you had hype, and then were turned away.
And then I got fucking denied at the fucking border because the fucking piece of shit country fucking Trump bullshit.
Yeah, I feel horrible for that. I have a video, by the
He's
way,
got
of
the
Farish.
COVID. I hope he dies.
I love that you can see the CO2. Like, let's like a real gun, but it's like just a pellet gun.
Anyway, Toll, thank you for calling in.
Yeah,
thank you for answering our very important
And
questions.
look at the disarmament. I don't point the gun towards me. I don't even have the bucket aimed towards my face or any general direction. I know safety procedures.
Okay.
Toll,
I'll be on the call later.
Alright.
Look at that. That is the greatest disarmament.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
That was our Australian
Yeah,
correspondent.
this was us disarming the battery in the driveway.
That was more terrifying to me when you guys were trying to take it out.
Parax, go back to the picture.
What? Wait,
The-
there's this one.
The one with my tan line on my fucking foot.
You look like a hobbit. Can you zoom in on that tan line?
That is so bad. That is so bad. That was my year where I wore sandals, and I couldn't wear anything else because I fucking wore sandals all
We're
year.
taking the hobbits to Isengard.
So bad. Oh my god.
There was Rhett taking apart Jesse's old
No,
MacBook.
that when you guys opened the lid and the lid popped off with the screws.
Yeah.
That scared me more than shooting the battery, hoping that it would just disarm it, so I didn't have to put it into the trash.
Yeah, it was.
That part was like, yeah, that was my level of like, yeah, I don't like this.
Yeah, we got the battery out though.
Yeah,
and the laptop still works. So.
And it didn't explode.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's photos of us in Toronto looking at headphones.
You
What
did
else
look
is
at
there?
headphones for a while.
Yeah.
It was a good day.
Random photo of Nico in our local park.
Oh, I was wearing fucking Crocs.
Yeah.
Good for me.
we had this discussion with you, I think like last week or something. But you're like, oh yeah, you can wear Crocs with socks. And I was like, yeah, because you're already wearing Crocs. Nothing else you wear with it matters because Crocs are already like you can't like...
You already get judged enough, which is fine.
You can't go any lower than Crocs. That's what I meant. So like, you had bedazzlements, you had socks. Doesn't matter. Like sandals with socks though?
Socks and sandals don't work.
Nah. I miss like stores like that when you can just walk in person.
Yeah, I'm just going through our old photos. This shitty photo of me on the subway. No.
Oh, look at that. Like retail stores. Do you remember those?
I know.
Oh, God.
Like buy things.
You can walk aisles. Oh,
wow.
I was also there for that one.
Anyway.
I miss those experiences.
I miss Toronto.
I miss Toronto so much.
I miss leaving this country that we can't leave anymore.
That's the only reason I was happy is because I could leave this country. And now I can't leave. Nope. So it's like, we basically can't go anywhere.
I mean, it's only $400 for us to go round trip to Sweden, and we can't even do that.
We can technically fly to Sweden. We'll just be like, why?
Yep.
Go home. So it would just be.
I don't think you'd be let on the plane here to go to Sweden. I don't think you'd be able to leave.
I don't know. I would find it very amusing if they're like, yeah, you can pay the money. You just can't leave. Go back the way you came.
Or you get to land in their airport, but then you just can't leave the airport.
Like they literally just like, you can't even like go to like the actual like, airport section where everyone's like buying things.
Wasn't there a Tom Hanks movie about that?
I don't know if it's Tom Hanks, but there's a movie called Terminal, which is about that. It's basically what it is essentially. The story goes, and this is not at all how it would actually work, but basically, while the guy is on like a really long flight, the country that he's from gets into like a civil war, and also like gets into some war with some other country, and so like it invalidates, like basically they overthrow the government that issued his passport, and so then he's just like stuck in this airport terminal for a while until they like figure out how to get him through customs, which again is not how it would work.
Fucking national treasure, Tom Hanks. Yeah, I remember.
It was Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks, baby.
And he basically like gets jobs in the terminal. Like for a while, what he does.
So cute though.
For a while, what he does is he takes the little like carts that you can push around and returns them to the thing that returns the quarter. And then he would like go to the food court and buy food. And then for a while, what he would do is like I think he got hired as a contractor painting. It was good.
It's a weird movie. It's a Tom Hanks movie.
It's a very Tom Hanks
movie.
It's a cute
strangely
movie.
wholesome.
Yeah.
It's strangely wholesome.
Strangely. Yeah. It was a cute thing.
Apparently Toronto is now a COVID hotspot.
Yeah.
It's a city.
That they've given up contact tracing. Yeah, that's a city. We have 50 states that are COVID hotspots.
We have places that don't have that population.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure most...
To be fair,
I'm pretty sure most of the Western English-speaking world is fucked except New Zealand.
Yeah.
And maybe the rest of
Canada. I know
New
New Zealand had a little bit of a spike increase again, but like it was like...
And it was like 3 people and it's already gone.
Yeah, it was so like an increase, and that's why it was like...
Keep in mind, we have like 1 to 2% infection rate and nothing is closed.
Oh my God, I went to the mall today.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Oh, it was bad. How?
It was so crowded.
Really?
There were so many people.
See, that's scary.
Like we went to like 3 stores, like we went really fast and then we're like, we're out of here.
Okay. Because see, I've gone to a couple stores recently just for like work stuff. Like I had to go to Best Buy to get like a DisplayPort adapter for a client really fast because we needed it like really quickly. And when I walked into the Best Buy, it was nice because there was no one there. And I was like, oh, okay, this is great. I can run in and get the thing.
No, today was crowded as fuck.
That is scary.
Like, there was a line for...
I love how you...
I was like,
hand sanitizer.
I was thinking about it. Just gonna do that.
Yeah, I'm just
Pharaoh, you're gonna put everyone at risk by going to...
I'm just gonna use some hand sanitizer, guys. Just while we're talking about this, I just feel like... Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
It's already too late.
Yeah,
if one of us gets it,
I know. But then, hey, look, you don't have to worry about going to like going to Arizona anymore.
Who's gonna stop me?
COVID, because you'll have it.
Yeah, the scary part in the United States though is nothing stops you from traveling with it. Did you know that?
Or if you can't breathe, then...
No, I mean, like if you test positive, the airlines just recommend that you don't go. There is no laws or rules that says you can't. That's what's scary about America right now.
Nico goes to the mall. Also, Nico, OMG, can't believe all the people at the mall.
I know. It's like I'm a hypocrite.
A hypocrite?
I'm a hypocrite.
A hypocrite.
I also never took off my mask. I never actually stayed anywhere where the crowds were. And all the stores that I went to are actually the ones that were like no more than 15 people at a time. And they actually were regulating it. So,
yeah.
And I spent like
we're in like
15 minutes in the mall. So take it how you
that's
want it.
15 minutes of COVID.
Yeah. But there's
other
also
thing- the
people
other
who are
thing
just walking around without their masks on. And I'm like, I'm going to stay away from
The other thing I try to do at work is like, because I fix people's computers all day. And what I try to do is like, I'll stay away from them and I'll just kind of like stand on like the opposite side of like the room or the cubicle. And I'll just be like, hey, you know, if you want, I can do this. But if you want, I could just tell you what to do and where to click. And I'm like, I don't mean to do that in like a, you know, pretentious or an annoying way, but like I can just tell you what to click and what to do on your computer to fix it. That way I'm not touching your computer. And it's like, that's what I try to do generally, but it doesn't always work. Agris, why are you so afraid of getting COVID? You're healthy and young. First of all, because I work with hundreds of other people.
And also they've proven that COVID can still hit hard if you're not healthy and young.
Yeah.
Like if you're healthy and young, you have a better chance of not getting it extreme, but it doesn't mean it's a guarantee.
I honestly think we already had it.
It's possible.
Keep in mind, like, you can also spread it to other people and then kill them.
Yeah.
You should always be afraid of getting COVID, no matter how healthy you are.
Because if even if you're asymptomatic, you might be giving it to somebody else, and then they might die from it.
Yeah. And also, it can also fuck you up long term.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. It can mess up your lungs for a while, like the rest of your life.
Basically, for us, we have enough time to... Technically, we have enough time to repair any damage that's caused by it, but it's going to last years if you get into the hospital level of it. That's the scary thing.
And it's not worth it. Like,
yes,
I went to the mall
there's
for
a lot
little
of
bit.
ifs.
Yeah. Like, if you have to go out and work, like, whatever, fine, do it. But, like, be as cautious as you can and know that you carry that risk. And that's one of the reasons that it's like...
When I went, it was for a short period of time. My mask stayed on the entire time. I washed my hands 3 times when I was there because they had I went to the bathroom, so I washed my hands then. I had 2 different hand washing the hand sanitizer areas. So I sanitized my hands too. And I went to 3 stores and then I left.
Quick hot take here though. I don't blame any of the college students and stuff that are having parties and everything like that. Because if you think about it, one, the adults that are more in the range that shouldn't be doing stuff are still out going to bars or restaurants or fighting to the Karen-wise.
Okay,
wait, let me finish.
Okay.
But when we were growing up, or at least when we had the chance to reach the point in our lives where we were finally free to actually do something or go out and party and be on our own, we didn't have a disease or anything stopping us from doing that. So at that same time, that same level of childishness that they have, that this is the first time they get to actually... be together and party.
I feel like it's not worth it to do that when it carries risk of
I will say
killing people.
I'm not surprised. I'm not saying that it's justified,
It's not
but
saying
I'm not surprised that they're doing it.
Yeah. Nothing about
like
the way...
them having parties because it's their first glimpse of freedom. Yeah. Them thinking that they're invincible. Yeah. Early college stage students will think that they're invincible. And that mindset of, well, you're young, you'll be fine, is the mindset that
also portrayed the first start of the whole pandemic too. You're young, you just do whatever the hell you want. You're not going to. It's
not
worry about it.
that you're invincible. It's that you think you are, and just because you're young doesn't mean anything.
I think it's one of those things for me. It's like just self-awareness is just the biggest key. Like just
also, definitely self-awareness kind of deal of. But you're still spreading it.
Yeah, if you just assume that you're always spreading it, that's probably the best method that you can actually take for this. Yeah. Like just assume that you always have it and you're always spreading it. There you go. Yep. You want the best for method?
Wear your mask. Don't be an idiot. Done.
Yeah. Well, and the mask thing too is, to me, wearing a mask also shows like, hey, I value your health as well as mine.
It's like not just like I value my own life. It's we're all in the public together. You should be fine. Like you should be fine if I'm fine. You keep your mask on. I'll keep my mask on. We'll stay far apart.
Okay. Weird thing. I know some other people, like, this is one of those, like, unpopular opinion, but I know actually some people share this opinion of mine. I actually kind of like wearing a mask in public sometimes.
I don't.
I like it because, especially when it gets cold, my nose gets really cold.
I do like it in the wintertime. Like it's been
when
nice.
it gets to wintertime, that would be a completely
also,
different scenario.
I feel less vulnerable around people because they can see less of my facial expressions, which weirdly I like. Because it just makes me feel more, especially at work, because I'm the type of person where, like, okay, when I'm with you guys, like,
I get a lot of
like,
comments on my mask, so I like that.
But see, when I'm with furries, I'm obviously much more touchy-feely. I'm obviously much more open. But, like, when I'm at work, like, I wear, like, jackets and long-sleeve shirts and stuff all day. I like to feel physically isolated from the people around me. Mm-hmm. And when I wear a mask, it, like, helps with that. I feel like I'm even more isolated from people at work. And it's like, I don't know. I like it.
No, but the one hot take that I wanted to say, though, is, like, again, talking about the parties and everything like that. Remember when this all started? The whole point of, distancing and everything else was to, flatten the curve. It wasn't that you're going to stop yourself from getting COVID, because it reached a certain point that we knew
it would reduce the risk.
Yeah.
It doesn't, just because you wear a mask doesn't make it at 0, but it will reduce.
But like a lot of that.
Somebody hammering downstairs, maybe?
Maybe.
I heard toon toon and
I know.
What's going
on? Yeah, it sounds like hammering. I don't know.
Maybe building another bookcase.
That could be it.
Somebody says less pollen hitting your face as well. And then another person says, I think it's overreacting. What about like all the pollution in like some Asian countries? It's like, yeah, but pollution and pandemic are not the same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
They're really not.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
pollution. Yeah.
But I mean, granted, they both make you ill. They both kind of affect you long term in certain cases. But
yeah,
very different.
Yeah.
Is the pollution worse on the long term? Probably. Whereas the pandemic is more of a short term. In this case, more of a short term problem.
I would say relatively short.
But this is
not.
Yeah.
Relative is the right word because
yeah,
it's going to feel like a long time, but in comparison to pollution, where it's like years and years and years and years and years, decades and centuries, maybe even of damage that we've done. COVID probably won't last centuries.
No, COVID will be another couple of years of in the background of our lives, and then it will go away. But
background to the foreground, background to the foreground, just all over the place.
Yeah,
I was just saying, like, just in general, like, I completely forgot because someone else was talking about it. That like I was like, wait, the whole point of us, wearing masks and socially distancing and all that was to reduce the curve, just so it doesn't put a strain on medical industries. It wasn't to stop the spread of it or like.
Yeah, which by the way, that said strain could still be put on it because I believe like more than 90% of people, at least in our country, are still vulnerable.
Because we're not socially distancing at all.
Well, yeah, but also because there's been time to ramp up, though, there is a bit more. It depends on the area, obviously.
Like, but my policy likewise for like, I honestly think it would have been better if you got low enough to where you weren't transmittable, but you were still doing contact tracing and like that. Okay, everyone can stop wearing masks. Because, again, it's not going to stop.
Some areas already have, actually.
And then, but as soon as it goes uptick again, okay, everyone wears masks again, we're going to put more restrictions. If it still uptakes, you put more restrictions. And then as soon things start
That's what Sweden is doing right now, for instance.
That makes more sense to me. Yeah. But we just don't operate like that here.
Well, we don't have the numbers.
Yeah.
That's the other problem, right? Even if we wanted to operate like that, it's just not going to work right now.
Mm-hmm.
But, I work all the time. People are like, oh, it's okay, you can take your mask off. And I'm like, no, I'm keeping it on. Thanks, but no. Like,
well, like all the different studies that are bogus, though. But yeah, like certain people wearing masks is definitely worse because if you're a person that constantly adjusts and touches your face and eyes and stuff like that.
Yep, that's an issue.
That's an issue. That's a personal issue. But yeah, that's still a problem.
And by the time the restrictions are in, it's already too late. Yeah, that's another problem.
Yeah, because we don't really contact trace, and there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of problems we've shown. Thankfully, it's not as deadly as a virus could be. And that's not to say it won't evolve. It's been getting more contagious. Have you ever played Plague Incorporated? You really need to play Plague Incorporated.
I am ready to end the show. We've been going for two and a half hours.
Well, let me read the Last Bird thing.
No, it's 2.5 hours. Can we please?
The Last Bird, because then we're done with the burbs. Okay?
Last burb, and then we don't talk about it. We just
that's
you
fine.
read it, and then we're done.
Okay.
All right, go. No interruptions.
Just wanted to finish up with the burbs. Okay?
Get to it.
Go.
I am. I'm just getting back to the article.
I'm timing you. We're not doing great on the time.
Sorry, I wasn't prepared. I didn't know we were ending that fast. Anyhow, lockdown silence makes Sparrow's song sexier thanks to a quieter arena. Back to COVID. When the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown forced swaths of humans back into their realms of houses, the silence that swept across towns and cities was such that it got its own name. The Anthropause.
Huh.
Yeah. I thought you'd get a little hint of that. The Anthropause saw a plummet in human behavior, some of the consequences of which included an increase in wildlife sightings and a reduction in harmful pollution such as carbon dioxide emissions. Sadly, this is not a long-term thing. Another type of pollution that was curbed was sound. And news research published in the Journal of Science has revealed the surprising effect it has had on San Francisco sparrows. Imagine you're at a crowded bar in the back of a noisy gig. Remember those? Remember when we had bars? When you try to order a drink, your speech is loud, strained, and a little grating on the ears. Not exactly your most flattering tone of voice. For white-crowned sparrows in San Francisco, this is a bit where it feels like males attempting to lure in a lady with a soulful singing over the calamitous backdrop of traffic. There is actually, in this article real quick, there's 2 audio clips. There's one of sparrows before the shutdown and one after, which I think would be kind of cool. According to the new research, with a statewide lockdown kicked off in the spring, the number of vehicles crossing the Golden Gate Bridge fell to the lowest since 1954, and the noise pollution dropped by over 50%. The team decided to look at how the reduction of man-made racket was affecting the bird song and compared recordings from late April and May of this year to that of last year's. Their findings revealed that with a quieter performance arena, the sparrows were singing more softly, hitting much lower notes, making their songs a lot more appealing to the opposite sex.
You can kind of hear it in the background there, and then... Oh, it's like a lower note. I see what they're saying.
It's nice.
It is a lot nicer. Like, I hate the birds that are around here that fucking go off at 3 in the morning. They just screech.
Well, you should be asleep.
How does the fresh composition translate to terms of sparrows trying to finding a mate? These birds use their songs to defend breeding territories and attract mates. Therefore, any change in their mating signal songs will likely affect their reproductive success. Lead researcher Elizabeth Danbury, a behavior ecologist at the University of Tennessee, told IFL Science. When it is possible the males enjoyed a profitable spring as a result of their freshly mixed songs, Danbury suspects that they'll be forced to switch back to the classic next year's when the sound pollution returns. I think their songs will change again next spring. It is possible that their songs will shift back to the way they were before the pandemic, with loud screeching, or that it might take a few years. We will be in the field in the spring to find this out eventually. The research joins the mounting evidence to show how the various lockdowns have took place globally this year influenced the behavior of local wildlife in positive manners and demonstrates how even a short reduction in human activity can spell huge changes for animals attempting to thrive in urban environments.
As you might expect.
No. Hey, did you ever think that animals be happier and live happier without humans?
Shout out to Vivi in chat who says, "Screaming fuck me never sounded so good."
Not wrong.
Yeah, not wrong.
Wasn't there like a webcomic or something that was like, I wonder what the birds are saying, and it's like all these like pretty tweets, and then all of a sudden like the genie's like wish granted, and it just says fuck me, fuck me.
Yep. I like the one with the dogs where it's like, hey, 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 and they're just saying hey over and over again, and that's it. Hey, you, stop, bark. Hey, hey, hey. Get off my lawn. Hey.
Bird sounds.
I know you. You smell. I know you smell.
All right, guys. I've been your host, Paradox Red Wolf.
I have been your demolition maintenance worker, Pharaoh, the Blue Fox.
I have been slightly salty. I'm Nico, the Otta.
Utterly savage.
Yeah, only a little bit, though.
We'll see you next week, guys.